Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Tonight, we are talking about the Nancy Guthrie case, and I think I might go absolutely insane on this one. I might do a crash out. I really might. We are talking about the Nancy Guthrie case, and three men allegedly abruptly moved out of the neighborhood, we're learning, and also reports that nothing, absolutely nothing, is going on in the Nancy Guthrie case. They have no leads. Which one is it? We are hearing so much. You ready, Daff?
I'm ready. Get your straight jackets on because we're gonna
Let's go,
get to it.
motherfuckers.
I've walked through storms in scars and grace. Smile through pain with a painted face. They called me too loud, too much, too strong. But honey, that's the reason I belong. Every scar's a scripture, every tear's a hymn. I found my worth where the light grew dim. They tried to break me, but here's a twist. I turned my pain into a clenched fist. I'm an unbreakable woman, born of fire and pearl. I shine like grace in a reckless world. You can test my faith, you can shake my plan, but I'll rise again. Just watch me I've been whispered about and written off, judged by the gloss, not the cause. But God don't build weak hearts from gold. He made me fierce and he made me bold. I bend, I pray, I roar, I rise with mascara, tears and battle cries. Don't need your crown, I forge my own. From ashes, honey, I build my throne. I'm an unbreakable soul, dressed in truth and pearls. The fire don't scare me, it lights my world. You can doubt my voice, but you'll hear my name. I'm holy and hood, and I'm done with shame. For everyone called too much, too loud, too real. You're not to anything. You're exactly what power looks like. I'm an unbreakable soul, through the fight and flame. My scars are stories, my strength, my faith. Faith in my heart, fire in my clothes, forever divine. Clutch them pearls.
In the clutch, better tighten the pearls. Dropping cold facts, got the truth for the world. No smoke, no fluff, just the real that we trust. Hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch.
Let's go. Glory. Hallelujah.
Coming in clutch. Coming in clutch, better tighten the pearls. Dropping cold facts, got the truth for the world. No smoke, no fluff, just the real that we trust. Hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch. Coming in clutch.
Well, hello, everyone. Good to see you all. Thank you all so much for joining Miss Daphne and I. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube. You certainly have a lot of options anywhere on the internet, anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here. I know your time is very valuable, and I do appreciate you spending time with Daphne and I. Today is March 17th, 2026. It is currently 5:38 on the East Coast of the United States. Bonjour.
Bonjour, ¿cómo estás?
My God. Hey, Daph. Good to see you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Wherever you are, please do us a favor, whether you're in Daphne's chat, my chat, please hit that thumbs up button. Greatly appreciated if you would share the live out. And you get 3 options a week to hype the video. If you would consider doing that, would mean so much as well. I really do appreciate you. Hey, Jude, thank you so much for gifting that pearl necklace, my dear. Do appreciate you and your support. Thank you. I'm about to go freaking nuts on this case. I
Oh, yeah.
swear to I never seen anything like this, Daphne. I was
Mm-mm.
crashing out this morning uh, when I
Mhm.
got this video because it's I call this an octopus. I do. I call this case an octopus because it's no matter
Mhm.
where you look, it feels like, oh, well, that might be something. Oh, that could be something. Whether
Yeah.
it's respectfully, this is a big thing. Whether it's the family, the what is it, the where they've knocked down the search warrants of all these
Yes.
people.
Mhm.
Ooh,
Detainees.
where did my camera go? Yeah, all of that, and so it's really, really weird.
Yeah, I agree with you, Justin, and I think everybody else is in the same boat. And now, right, now we've heard that the FBI is investigating 3 people that moved out recently around the same time Nancy's
Yep.
disappearance.
Mhm.
So
They
what is
sure
going on with that?
they sure did, and my camera went. Okay, we'll figure it out, here in just a second. I'm gonna play this, and I'm gonna, get my camera fixed while we talk about this. This is we're gonna get to that first, but first I want to go to Megan Kelly because this is what crashed me out, and this gives
Mm.
me a little bit more time to get my camera ready, to be honest with you. So we're gonna go to this real quick. Credit's gonna go to Megan Kelly. uh, I'm so frustrated.
2 hours ago, Megan, I can report from a very, very reliable source that is boots on the ground there that the FBI and the Pima County Sheriff's Office have no leads, no
Oh,
solid suspects.
what?
And this is from someone boots on the ground that I trust. All right. They have no solid leads. I can also report that um, it has been confirmed this morning, and I'm sure we all assume this, that every family member passed polygraphs with flying colors. So, what does this other date have in mind? Probably tells me that there was just some images or some type of electronic evidence that's kind of pushing them to try to dive into that date a little bit more. But that is a
That's
conversation that
huge,
I
though.
had.
That information is
It is.
huge. So then that means, I mean, I think, I know some people don't believe in the polygraphs. I do. Uh, but if that's true, then we can move on from the brother-in-law and the sister. And it kind of sheds a little more light on the sheriff's statement to NBC that he's had a theory about this case from the beginning and nothing has moved him off his theory, and that he does believe he knows the motivation for the crime. And in the interim between that first day and now, where he says his theory hasn't changed, he did say that the family had been ruled out. He then kind of begged off of it because, of course, they don't have anybody in custody. So I'm not sure you can say anything's been totally ruled out. But that's very interesting. I want to play for you the sheriff's comment to NBC News just days ago on how he's saying, contrary to what you're saying, that he thinks he knows the motive, which would be a lead. But you tell me. Here he is.
there is something that's come out in the investigation that gives you a sense of motive here and why this person did this?
You know, I think
Oh my goodness, this guy. He
Mm-hmm.
is so frustrating. Guys, give me 2 seconds. I promise you I will be right back. I just got to refresh this and I'll be right back. I'm so sorry.
Okay. Yes. So someone mentioned in chat that they said the sheriff, right, looks just. They said the sheriff looked really sketchy. I agree with you. He hasn't been doing a good job at all. I think we're all on the same page. Yes, he is worse than Durwood. Absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
are
So,
you
I mean,
back? Okay.
yeah. What do you guys think about this reporting that they have nothing? And that's what I have in the chat, the poll. Do you guys think that they have absolutely nothing? Because we are getting reporting complete opposites now.
From the
Not
FBI.
not even from the, well, I mean, yeah, from the FBI, but just complete opposites from everybody's reporting. Whether it is in the beginning that Tommaso is, they were looking at Tommaso, or they have absolutely nothing, or they're looking at the three guys. Now, they can be doing all at once. Yeah, that's absolutely true. They can be looking all at three once, but you either are kind of going in a direction after 40 some days. You would think they have something. And what, this sheriff right here, I call him Sheriff Doofy, he's going to say something right here. And it's like, to me, he's looking like, in my opinion, it's like he's going in a direction at least.
I agree. And I hate to say this, but I don't believe anything that he says. Like, because he backtracks on stuff. And do you know what I mean? It's not even because, yes, he does need a spokesperson, but like, why are
He needs to
you
retire.
Gosh, it seems like he's deliberately doing this. And I hate to say that, but it does.
He needs to retire.
He does. Like 10 years ago.
Absolutely.
Well, didn't something happen to him like in 2016?
Yeah, there was, what was it?
Was he fired or something in 2016?
Well, get this, 98% of the county law enforcement, like, they have no faith in him. Did you hear that?
Yep. I absolutely did.
RICO funds.
Even I think it was the director or something. He was on another channel. Maybe it was with Chris McDonough. Was it with Chris McDonough and speaking to him? And yeah, he was trying not to say mean things about him, right? But he agreed that he's not doing a good job at all.
At all.
Why? Why is the mat still there? The welcome mat still there?
I've got I'll show you guys the video here in a second about what happened. I did not. Thank you for sending me that. That's really interesting. Has anyone compared Sheriff to the cam footage? What? Like this cam footage?
Like to the perpetrator?
Yeah,
no, that's not him. Yeah.
No. Okay. So listen to this.
I think it's come out from day one. I think from day one we had some strong beliefs about what happened. And
okay, if you have strong beliefs since day one, like, that's kind of sending you in a direction, right? Like, you're going in a direction if there's something from day one. Had some strong beliefs since day one, but you have absolutely no idea. Also,
that makes no sense.
It makes
like
no
contradicts
sense.
itself.
Yeah.
those beliefs haven't diminished.
Do you believe it was a burglary gone wrong?
I'm not going to get into those theories. We have our beliefs. Everybody else has theirs.
Nano says he's intentionally withholding their theory.
No, it's not about beliefs,
You have
Mother Chicken.
facts.
Yes, you have evidence, right?
Yeah. Yes. I don't understand. How would you like, yes, you should have a theory based on evidence that you have found for the
Oh
over a
my
month.
God. This man.
Yes. This
So-
guy, and this one thing that always stands out in my head, and I'm sorry I have to say this, but that reality TV show, when he said that we would like more tourism to come in, and then boom, Nancy disappears. I'm not saying he had anything to do with it, but that always stands out in the back of my head. I'm sorry. It just
You
does.
think so?
It just does.
It doesn't for me.
What?
I mean, it doesn't for me, but you're not alone in that. That's for sure. That's definitely for sure. You're not alone
Other
in that.
people think that
It is a circus. It is a circus.
it is still
And
on. Mhm.
why it's a circus is you're going to see here that we're going to show you there is so much completely different recordings or different reportings. Usually the reporting may differ a little bit, but it's kind of all headed the same direction. Here, not a bit. Not a bit. Doesn't matter if it's like Ashley Banfield's reporting, this guy's reporting, Sheriff Doofy's reporting, and this new guy that we're going to show you, which we've kind of heard that they were looking into these neighbors, but it's all in, again, all in different directions. Hey, Michelle, thank you so much. Finally, authorities speak about the pinky ring. Did they speak about the pinky ring today?
I didn't
I
see
haven't heard
anything
about
about
the
the pinky ring.
I'll look at it. When did they speak about that? I haven't heard about that yet.
And other details in the case, citing the integrity of the investigation.
But you're saying, Chad, no leads?
You can have a theory. Let me correct the way he worded it. No suspects. All right. You can have leads without suspects.
Okay. Now, this is the thing that kind of makes me a little bit confused with this. I apologize. The sun's blaring in. It'll be like that for the next few minutes. I don't have my light on. I just realized that. I ran to the computer. So one thing that is a little bit like, I'm, you can have a source on the ground, but maybe they're not telling you exactly the truth either. Do you think that they have actually something? Or are they just saying no suspects to not get people back at the house?
I really hope that they're just saying no suspects, right? Just so it doesn't make people run off. Do you see what I'm saying? Like if the word gets out that they do
Yeah.
have suspects in
For the
mind,
actual suspects.
and exactly,
Bingo.
then they could run, or
I would just
screw
be
everything.
very surprised of how much pressure that this case has been since day one because of the high profile, right? Because of the absolute high profile. And they have zilch.
You would think that he would try to do better, though, in the beginning. Not taking the bracket from the camera. Not even, I know this is stupid, but take the foliage off the ground. The perp touched that, right? You
No, they
take
didn't even take the doormat.
welcome mat. I know,
They
the
don't even take the
doormat.
doormat.
I don't understand. Even somebody without law enforcement background would know to take that stuff. Come on. Like, I don't understand that.
It's like forensics 101, you would think.
It's like watching a bad B movie.
Yeah.
Like, not kidding.
I would say D.
Like scary
Obviously,
movie.
and that's what they're doing. That's why they keep going back to these residences and these houses and following up with neighbors over and over again. I agree. They're probably on to some type of theory but we still don't have a suspect.
This is like
Yeah, we are.
amazing. But if that's true, so are you revising what you were told from no leads to no suspects?
The way he worded it is the FBI has no suspects.
Well, I mean, I guess I'm not shocked to hear that, but like that doesn't bode well in terms of, like if you look back at the Brian Kohlberger case, it took 48 days or something like that to nab him, but they had a suspect for, a good chunk of that last portion there, Jonathan. It wasn't
Mhm.
bupkis. Like they'd been working leads. They had found the knife sheath. They knew the car that the suspect had been driving. They were going through meticulously all the records of the white Hyundai Elantras of certain years. It sounds like none of that's happening here. It sounds like, if Chad's right, it sounds like there isn't some special sauce of hot leads they've been pursuing that they're not just sharing with the public and we're days away from getting an arrest. It sounds like it is as cold and unsatisfying as many of us have feared.
Right. And so no suspects does not mean that there's no theories, of course. And, this is criminology. So rarely do we get an evolution in tactics by criminals. So criminals fall into, like everything else, everybody goes to the grocery store at the same time. You put something out online and next thing you know, everybody's wearing that clothing, that article of clothing, or watching that TV show. So criminals are very similar. They develop tactics because these people are not rocket scientists typically. They develop tactics that criminals will gravitate towards. And so there's probably just a handful.
Like I said, I don't think this guy is certainly a rocket scientist. I don't think he's very smart. I don't think he's college educated. I think he might be a high school graduate, but I probably dropped out early. At least one of them. I certainly don't believe that there is just one suspect for sure. Thank you so much, Cyril Emily Ross. I understand not giving away things to the public. I need to see evidence and facts before believing anything they say. Cops are allowed to lie. Absolutely. And I don't think for a second that they're going to say, for instance, yeah, we have a suspect, right? I don't think that they're going to say we have a suspect necessarily at all, because again, like Daphne said, that's going to creep the suspect or suspects out, right? It's their mixed messaging. Like saying, we've, kind of gone this one direction since day one, but also, 40 some days later saying that, everyone should watch out in the neighborhood and around Tucson.
Yeah, because at first he said no danger, and now he's saying danger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who
Like
does
flip flops?
who does danger of who takes out 40 or 84-year-old women?
Yeah, no. It has to be somebody that she bumped into a week or 2 weeks prior. Because I always say, why now? Why now? She's been living there for years. Why now? And if you find out the why, then you'll find the who.
Well, my thing is, not even, I mean, yeah, yes, that as well. But again, who takes out an 84-year-old woman in general, number one, whenever statistically, I always say this, the likelihood of them being alive in a year is not great when you're 84 years old to begin with, because you've already outlived the average lifespan. Who needs her deceased, or could not stand it for whatever reason? And now they're looking in January 11th and January 24th.
Yep.
Last night, I showed some very interesting video. We'll look a little bit more into that today.
January 24th. That was 3 days prior to her birthday, if you guys remember. So this is what always ring a bell to me too, right? She had the birthday gathering a few days before she was kidnapped. So was she contacting people for her birthday gathering or something? Did she run into somebody and they had acquaintance or somebody that maybe she invited over, and
birthday party, gathering, game
Something,
night kind of thing.
something. And what about these neighbors that
There's
just
there's
poof?
a lot going on, right?
Absolutely.
She has that game gathering thing. She's got her birthday. She's out on the weekends thing. She has these church gatherings.
Mhm.
Um,
Not to mention they go to different houses every Sunday
yeah,
as well. They don't go
yeah.
to just one house.
But she has her what did I say she has her birthday? She's got these
Mhm.
electrical upgrades, um,
She got
allegedly
a lot of
maybe even
people.
a roof.
Yep. She got a lot of people going on. I also heard, it's not rumors, but I think it was the neighbor that was speaking to Brian Enton, that these particular neighbors that moved out might have had a new roof put on as well. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what she said.
Okay. So this guy, his name is John.
DePietrio.
What's his last? Huh?
DePietrio.
DePietrio.
Mhm.
Listen to his reporting, and again, this is completely opposite of
Sheriff Nanos. Yeah.
Sheriff Nanos, but the guy was just listening to Megyn Kelly as well, in my opinion.
Mhm. This
Like
just
he's
came
saying
out, by the way.
they have
Mhm.
zilch. Now this John saying
All right, day
contraire.
45, Nancy Guthrie update, and this is an exclusive. Now, we remain here in front of the home. By me being here on the ground, get to talk to a lot of different neighbors. It's very interesting. There's a house right around here, and there were 3 men living
I
there.
think one of them
And
could be.
right after this happened, they vacated, immediately moved out. And apparently now is very suspicious. And one of the individuals who was living there continues to circle this area. So they're no longer living here. This
I
happened
haven't
with
seen that,
Nancy.
Michelle.
Boom, they were gone. But one of them keeps coming back. For what I've learned, the FBI is now investigating who are these 3 men and why did they move out immediately right at the same time that Nancy Guthrie went missing. So we've heard speculation about this, where they were living. It is still vacant. But a neighbor told me that, boom, it's like in the middle of the night, right after this happened, they vacated town. The FBI is looking into it. That is the latest. Again, it is day 45. Search goes on for Nancy Guthrie, and the FBI is still very heavily investigating this area.
Okay, it's a short message. I want to play that again. So it's a little low. You might have to turn up your volume.
All right, day 45, Nancy Guthrie update, and this is an exclusive. Now, we remain here in front of the home. By me being here on the ground, get to talk to a lot of different neighbors. It's very interesting. There's a house right around here, and there were 3 men living there. And right after this happened, they vacated, immediately moved out. And apparently now is very suspicious. And one of the individuals.
I got to say something right here because this is a little bit different than what Brian is reporting. Brian said, or the neighbor said with Brian, said that these guys moved out a few days before Nancy went missing. He's saying that these guys moved out like a day or two after Nancy went missing.
Well,
Brian
does
is
anybody
also
know
gonna-
for sure the actual day? I just think that's odd, right? That's just, and then there was that vacant house behind her too. But the them moving out, right? I believe they were across the street. Now, I'm not 100% sure on that. And that's where
Okay, that's
I
it. So it
know
had to be
just
after.
those
It had
lights.
to be after. Maybe the neighbor
Maybe I took
said it
pictures
wrong.
and was live streaming as they were moving. Let me see if I can find it then. That's
Okay.
and remember the light in the video? I don't know. I think it might be something.
Who was living there continues to circle this area. So they're no longer living here. This happened with Nancy. Boom, they were gone. But one of them keeps coming back. For what I've learned, the FBI is now investigating who are these 3 men and why did they move out immediately right at the same time that Nancy Guthrie went missing. So we've heard.
Well, I mean, it's like if you're doing a crime, it's a perfect time to move out, right? And again, like to me, it makes me wonder,
Mhm.
could these guys have done work for Nancy, or could they have given her a sad story to get money?
Well, not just that, and I hate to be like, not 100%, but when you look on Google Earth, they have like a lot of vehicles if it's this particular house that I'm thinking of, and there's a lot of work vehicles, like work vehicles, like they do contracting work, if that makes sense. If it's the same one.
What kind of alleged contracting work allegedly?
These 3 people, like, I can't tell what kind of contracting they do, but they have like
Is it like
vehicles,
when
like
you say
with
contracting, do you
ladders,
mean like like a
like working
construction?
on homes, like construction and stuff like that. Absolutely, because there's like vehicles that carry like ladders and stuff.
Well, Nancy might have hired them to do something then.
Yes. Well, that's what I was saying, because the neighbor was actually the other neighbor, Laura. I believe she was talking about them doing a roof or something around the same time. They had a new roof or something as well, if that makes sense. So maybe they were putting on their own roof, and maybe they put on a roof for Nancy. Just throwing things out there. Not 100 on that though.
Hmm.
Speculation about this, where they were living, it is still vacant. But a neighbor told me that, boom, it's like in the middle of the night, right after this happened, they vacated town. The FBI is looking into it. That is the latest. Again, it is day 45. Search goes on for Nancy Guthrie, and the FBI is still very heavily investigating this area.
Okay. I have 1,000 in your lap. Awesome. Thank you, Etsy. Okay. Video titled "Ring Owner Identified" is the latest I saw. Where was that, Michelle? Where was that? What's this? Someone just sent me this. Okay. Yeah, I got that. Thank you, Ginger. I don't even know. Like that's that's what bothers me, is just everyone is so different right now, and there's just no consistency. This is the FBI. Okay, to me, this might be why, just allegedly, Mr. Nanos might not really like the FBI.
Of money laundering, obstruction of justice.
KGUN 9 has learned of serious questions about the possible misuse of money in the Pima County Sheriff's Department. That's hundreds of thousands of RICO funds that should only be used to fight crime, but instead might be illegally used for other things.
9 Your Side investigative reporter Valerie Cavazos joins us now with the exclusive details. Val.
Sheriff Chris Nanos confirms the FBI is still investigating its investigation into possible misuse of RICO funds, and told KGUN 9 the FBI scheduled a second interview with one of his senior command staff this week. The FBI began
This might be why Mr. Nanos has a little chippy on his shoulder. What do you think?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And we have seen him
Absolutely.
talk negatively, in my opinion, at least, about the FBI in the past.
Investigating claims that RICO money possibly bankrolled a remodel cafe for staff operated by Chief Deputy Chris Radke's niece, an allegation Nanos denies.
Nothing was done wrong with RICO monies or appropriation of funds in terms of any criminal activity. Were there mistakes made in the procurement process? Yes, there were, and I've corrected those.
But Dr. Richard Carmona, former U.S. Surgeon General and longtime deputy chief in the Sheriff's Department until earlier this year, believes the possible misuse of RICO money extends beyond the cafe controversy. Carmona says he's been interviewed by the FBI, and over the past year, he spoke with many officers and civilians who were also called in to talk to agents.
I said, well, what'd they ask you? And it was interesting that the pattern of questioning was the same with all of these people. And it was all about 3 people: Brad Gagnapane, Chris Radke, Chris Nanos.
Brad Gagnapane.
Uh-oh. I sense a chip. I sense Chris Nanos has a chip in his nails. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't like them and buttoning his stuff. Absolutely. How
Yeah.
did he get elected again? And I heard he's going to be still sheriff until 2029. I heard that from a local. That's wild.
Major chip.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yep. Exactly. Someone needs to take the reins here.
Payne, the former chief of staff, Chris Radke, the chief deputy, and Sheriff Chris Nanos. Carmona says last year, while sitting in a meeting with senior command and staff, they began discussing the annual awards banquet.
This is going to be very expensive. It's going to cost $30,000 or $40,000. We don't have any money. And I was looking, I said, well, let's reach out to some of the businessmen in town. Let's do this. Nano says, Brad's got it handled. You don't need to worry about it.
At the time, Carmona didn't know that RICO money played a part.
With the awards.
Did you hear who he said right there? But oh my God, what the hell? Sorry.
With RICO monies or appropriation of funds.
1 second. I apologize. Right
Awards
here.
banquet.
This is going to be very expensive. It's going to cost $30,000 or $40,000. We don't have any money. And I was looking, I said, well, let's reach out to some of the businessmen in town. Let's do this. Nano says, Brad's got it handled. You don't need to worry about it.
At the time, Carmona didn't know that RICO money played a part.
Well, the awards banquet is held by us, and we would use RICO dollars, which is appropriate.
Is it?
By law.
An awards banquet is appropriate.
Well, let me explain to you. By law, Barbara, there isn't 1 penny of RICO dollars we've ever spent or will spend without going through the process of the county attorney's review and saying whether or not it's lawful. Or
He's shaking. Do you see his hand?
What year was this? Yeah, he is.
He's shaking there. This was, it says it was uploaded 2016. Love from the UK.
Wow.
We love you.
And this
too,
is when
Miss
he got.
Amy. Thank you. Thank you, my darling. What's that? Go ahead.
Is this when he got? Wasn't fired? It was something, right? There was something. They kicked him out or something in 2016. Something happened in 2016. I can't remember what it was, but I know he got kicked out and then he got voted back in.
Just wait. Watch his hands. You can see that it's shaking.
Out going through the process of the county attorney's review
Right there.
and saying whether or not it's lawful or not. I'll tell you right now, do I like that idea? No, not really. But you can buy an award for one of your deputy or staff using RICO dollars.
That's true. RICO funds can cover the awards, but not food and entertainment. Kagan obtained ledgers dating back to 2009 and 2010, showing tens of thousands of dollars in RICO funds moved from the general fund to the Sheriff's Auxiliary Volunteers Account, or SAV. The list of purchased items include tuxedos, flowers, furniture, and entertainment equipment.
Basically, what this is showing is that it was common practice for the awards dinners to be paid for through the SAV funds and with the help of the RICO funds.
RICO funds and individual funds were put into the SAV accounts under an account that dealt with the awards banquet.
The ledger shows a RICO deposit of $35,000 in September of 2010, labeled Special Awards Fund. Several sources have told Nine on Your Side that this practice of allegedly using RICO funds in ways they shouldn't be, from at least 2009, have continued for several years after that, including this year. Nanos
From at least 2009.
2009.
From 2009 to 2016.
They're trying to they're trying to recall him now, actually.
Oh my God. For
Did you
their
get it?
entertainment,
Yep.
their tuxedos. What is it?
Oh, they're trying to do a recall effort on him. Furious locals. He has been an embarrassment.
Did you send me something?
So he bought tuxedos? Yeah. He bought tuxedos and
You didn't send it to
entertainment on
307?
that.
Yeah. Tuxedos, all kinds of stuff allegedly.
told KGUN 9 the
Wow.
FBI has interviewed a staff member from the finance department.
Dirty,
And we
dirty.
started hearing from the financial officer saying that there was illegal activity with the RICO funds. You can't use them that way.
Remember, FBI agents were asking questions about Chief of Staff Brad Gagnapane.
37
3 months ago,
suspensions.
Gagnapane was found dead, shot outside a neighbor's house.
What?
The county medical examiner's office ruled it to be a suicide. The sheriff's
What? Daphne, are you listening? You're not listening, are you?
No, I am. Found dead?
Hold on. Hold the fuck on.
Can't use them that way.
Remember, FBI agents were asking questions about Chief of Staff Brad Gagnapane. 3 months ago, Gagnapane was found dead, shot outside a neighbor's house. The county medical examiner's office ruled it to be a suicide.
What? I'm sorry. Who
Wow.
themselves outside their neighbor's house? Who does that and rules it a
Yeah, nobody.
self-inflicted? Oh my God.
Wow. Wow.
No wonder, in my opinion, Nanos is like, no, nothing wrong here, man. Nothing wrong.
Oh my gosh.
Holy
There's
mother
some
of
dirty shit
Lord.
going on here. Yes, dirty. Dirty, dirty, dirty. How did he get? I don't understand how he got elected.
Me either.
Oh, wow.
Jason, thank you so much,
Yeah.
my friend. Welcome to the Pearl family. Really do appreciate you. Thank you so much for your support. It makes me wonder, Lucky O, to be honest with you. That's what I was kind of thinking myself, but I didn't say it. Well, I mean, they was investigating this, but to me, this just tells me, oh no, we'll take care of it from here, from the beginning, and just completely bundled it up. Now there's supposed to be good relationship in the Nancy Guthrie case with them working, but it wasn't like that in the beginning.
I don't think it's still a good relationship, to tell you the truth. I think they're just saying that to save face.
Well, I from the beginning it was not good, but I do hear that it's good now. But we'll just kind of have to see. I cannot believe this guy's found dead out in his
front of his
neighbor's yard.
Yeah, that's who does that. Like, why?
I just need to listen to this little section again right here. I'm sorry.
Funds, you can't use them that way.
Remember, FBI agents were asking questions about Chief of Staff Brad Gagnapane. 3 months ago, Gagnapane was found dead, shot outside a neighbor's house. The county medical examiner's office ruled it to be a suicide. The sheriff's report shows the neighbor.
Okay, county. The county. Did they say coroner? Or whoever, the county. No, I would want an independent autopsy and an independent investigation on this.
Absolutely.
I would not
Absolutely.
be comfortable until there was a third party, independent investigation, independent autopsy on this. Jesus.
Called 911. Sheriff Nanos and Deputy Chris Radke showed up at the scene. Within hours, Carmona began receiving calls that
And appropriate processes and procedures were not followed based on what the deputies and detectives at the scene said.
I can't believe.
Well, how about that? How about that? Mr.
Wow.
Sheriff Doofy and the other guy show up at the scene. And then after they even show up at the scene, it is alleged that they did not follow proper procedure and protocol.
Wow. Wonder if
dear.
he's doing the same thing now.
Well, hell, you didn't even take the damn doormat off Nancy's.
Exactly. I was being, sarcastic.
1 minute that anybody called Carmona.
He's nervous as fuck here. You can tell.
Mm-hmm.
Look at
Oh, yeah.
those eyes. Listen to his voice. You can hear it shake a little bit.
That anybody called Carmona. I can't believe that. But maybe I'm wrong.
In the sheriff's report, on the night of the suicide, the neighbor said Gagna Payne had been arguing and texting his wife on his cell phone, but detectives were not allowed to interview her, a key witness. Only Nanos and Radke.
You are fucking kidding me. They weren't allowed to
What?
I'm done.
Weren't allowed to interview him.
Her. They weren't allowed to interview
to the
his
neighbor.
wife
Okay.
that he was
That's
arguing
crazy.
with.
Why? Why can't they? Jesus, this is.
So these three guys are allegedly, in this RICO spending money like this.
Mhm.
And one of them ends up dead in their neighbor's yard. And the other two, Sheriff Nanos and the other guy, show up to the scene, and it wasn't investigated properly with the proper procedures
Like this, like Nancy's
being
case.
done. And the guy who unalived himself was allegedly arguing with his wife, and then they can't interview the wife.
That's crazy to me.
No independent investigation, no independent autopsy.
Yeah, that guy must have found out something.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. So just got swept under the
but
rug,
there isn't
basically.
a report from either one. Either one. One detective report.
What?
Only Nanos and Radke spoke to her. But there isn't a report from either one.
What? Sorry, guys.
So that's crazy.
So these
report.
other two guys were the only two allowed to speak to her, but there wasn't a fucking report.
So they're the only. That's crazy.
Listen,
That's just dirty. This is dirty.
a basic police report is, if
Do your
you can
freaking
make a
job.
police report on anything, I'm sure
Mhm.
if you are, I don't know, investigating a self-inflicted unaliving, and you are interviewing, I don't know, the dead man's wife, who is, I don't know if he's an elected official as well. I think he is, who's an elected official of the county.
Mhm.
You're going to make a police report.
Mhm. But nope. Not one from either of them. What is going on
One
here?
detective reports he was not allowed to look for a suicide note in Gagna Payne's house, and a supervisor
Oh
told a detective they would not be
What?
going to the autopsy, which sources say is normal procedure.
Were the detectives allowed?
Wow.
Oh my God. Absolutely. It is so common for police officers to, it's so common. It's a daily occurrence for
To go-
police officers, investigators, to be there during an
the
autopsy.
autopsy. Yep. At
But
least
he
go
couldn't
and
attend
ask
that
what they
either.
found. I mean, that's crazy.
No, I mean, they like I've worked in funeral homes, and my uncle worked for the state coroner for decades. Like when they're doing an autopsy, they record themselves. They record everyone who's like in their voice. And usually like there is investigators there standing close by. They're taking notes, they're recording for, and after it is after it is audio recorded, it is later turned into a report.
I have no faith
to go to the
in this is
My God. I mean,
This makes me sick to
anything
my
that could have went wrong did here.
she got dealt a really bad hand with this guy.
I would think I wouldn't want him investigating anything of mine.
the autopsy.
Like,
Imagine
if I lived
he
in the
did
county,
it this. Imagine a regular person, and this is a high profile case. So imagine on regular cases how badly botched it is. Oh my God. I would never move there.
I don't know why they wouldn't be. I don't know. Let me ask
what
this.
was the question?
I'm caught.
Were the detectives allowed to go to the autopsy?
I don't know why they wouldn't be. I don't know. Let me ask this.
He's not a good liar.
I don't know why they would go. It's a suicide.
And the public, I think.
He's trying to, yeah.
What do you mean? What do you fucking mean? I can't say the word on here. He's already said it once. But that is what your department determined. It is not 100% determined until the coroner decides that. You are going ahead and saying, hey, this is what it is. No, the police are
No,
there
they don't decide that.
with the
find
coroner. The coroner is the final say. They are the doctor, so to speak.
Exactly. Exactly.
My head feels like it's coming off.
Yeah, same. This is sickening.
Rightfully needed to know that because his suicide was coincident with him finding out that he was part of the FBI investigation.
The shame is this is a guy who spent 30 plus years of his life serving this community.
So the question
And
is
they're
then
going to
why
trash him. And they're going to trash him.
His lips are shaking.
No, you trashed them because you didn't do your
Shame on
freaking
them.
job.
Oh my God.
Shame on them, shame on you.
Shame on you for not following procedures. You know what? The guy that worked 30 years in the county there didn't even get a proper procedure and protocols for his own self-inflicted unaliving.
You got swept under the rug.
Oh, he's
It's
absolutely
ridiculous.
diverting. He's absolutely diverting.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Oh, he's
This is
gaslighting
sad.
like a mofo.
Oh, you can tell. Yeah. What a jerk. I can't believe this is going on.
Then why?
Shame on them.
Then why did he commit
Because it's-
suicide?
Well, I don't know his demons.
Was he questioned by the FBI? Was he a
Don't know that.
primary person
You'll have to
in the
ask-
FBI investigation?
No. I don't believe that at all. I don't know it, but I don't believe it at all.
The possible obstruction of justice issue deals with whether normal law enforcement procedures were followed before the medical examiner made his determination of suicide involving the death of former
Hold on.
or made his determination of suicide
Wait, one
involving the death of former Chief of Staff Brad Gagnon. Now, I asked Sheriff Nanos if I could interview Deputy Chief Chris Radke, and he told me no. Now, according to Nanos, the
How convenient.
What?
How
What?
inconvenient.
You told her no.
Yeah. Talk about transparency in that department. My goodness, great transparency if there ever was, right?
FBI investigation is nearing its end, and we might know more in the coming days. Back to you.
I think someone needs to open a can of worms here, to tell you the truth. This is ridiculous. How many other allegedly were swept under the rug like this?
Okay. Now, look at this.
The Pima County Sheriff's Department has raised the question, who holds the sheriff himself accountable regarding claims made against him by department employees?
That question has surfaced after the deputies union president accused Sheriff Chris Nanos of workplace bullying. Sergeant Kevin Kubitsky filed a complaint with...
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. You know how the news anchor said, "Hi, can I get an interview?" No.
with the county in March, launching an investigation. Kubitsky not only complained about threats, but also harassment and a hostile work environment. Obtained the final report, which has now become the center of controversy. Not on Your Side's investigative reporter Valerie Cavazos has more.
Sergeant Kevin Kubitsky, the union president, has a lengthy list of workplace complaints covering 2 years against Sheriff Chris Nanos,
I'm going to FOIA these.
charging him with managing by threats and intimidation.
All the little things that have been done and have happened since that time frame, they've added up, and it's quite severe.
Take a look at the final report by a county human resources investigator. Kubitsky reported Nanos told a large...
I want to go back to that and see what it says right there. What does that say? Human Resources conducted an investigation into the allegations of workplace violence involving Kevin Kubitsky, alleged victim, and Christopher Nanos, allegedly perpetrator, employees of the Sheriff's Department. The investigation is concluded and the evidentiary findings are contained within the attached report. I concur with the findings of the allegations of workplace violence is unsubstantiated. I also concur that the finding that there is sufficient evidence to be substantiated that Sergeant Kubitsky was a victim of workplace bullying as defined by the board supervisors, policy D23.1, preventing, identifying, and addressing workplace bullying.
Sergeant Kevin Kubitsky, the union president, has a lengthy list of workplace complaints covering 2 years against Sheriff Chris Nanos, charging him with managing by threats and intimidation.
All the little things that have been done and have happened since that time frame, they've added up, and it's quite severe.
Look at the final report by a county human resources investigator. Kubitsky reported Nanos told a large crowd of union members a year ago that he yells at Kevin all the time. And when the two spoke after the meeting, Kubitsky reported Nanos assaulted him. He jabbed him over and over in his...
Oh my God. Jabbed him?
Jabbed him?
Like physically jabbed him?
What
Okay, Brandy,
the
thank
freaking
you.
heck?
Guys, if you're just joining us, make sure you please hit that thumbs up button. Really, really appreciate you all being here. We are talking about these reports that have came out against Nanos. And
Laundry list of infractions.
And we didn't even know that there's been people who died in the investigation. Not saying he is linked to it in any way, shape, and or form at all, but just following, listening to these news reports.
shoulder while the two argued about the union's possible legal action over wage issues.
He told me that if I pushed forward with the membership and the attorney, and filed a lawsuit against the county, that I would be done.
Nanos also sent out a department-wide email singling out Kibitsky as a disruptive force and can no.
Sergeant Kibitsky complained about an email message was sent by Sheriff Nanos to the department all users distribution list of March 9th, 2016 at 5:49 p.m. The email set forth Sheriff Nanos' position and the pay issues, and rather than referring to the association or the association proposal, he referred to the association proposal as Kevin's. He repeatedly referred to Sergeant Kibitsky as Kevin and included this statement, quote, Kevin was excluded because he has become a disruptive force and positioned himself in a way that he can no longer work at the office on any labor issue, end quote. He added that redacted has submitted a different pay proposed that he found more acceptable.
Is that
So
the
it sounds like
retired law enforcement officer that Brian spoke to?
no,
Who is
it's
that one?
this
Sergeant.
the interview.
Oh, okay.
No longer work with this office on any labor issue. When the county HR investigator interviewed Nanos, the sheriff said he didn't assault Kibitsky and had apologized to him, but Nanos also admitted that it's inappropriate for anybody to put their hands on anybody. And when the investigator asked Nanos about the disruptive force comment and that county email is a public record, Nanos replied, I don't care. You get what you get with me. The investigator asked,
Jesus.
I don't care. You get what you get, and you don't throw a fit.
Nanos if
Wow.
he considered county policies when he sent email messages on a county system. Nanos replied, I don't consider them at all. I don't even know what those are. The investigator concluded Nanos did not assault Kibitsky, but he did bully him. And then he recommended Nanos ensure compliance with all county policies. 2 superiors reviewed the report and signed it in mid-July, but 3 more signatures were needed, and the report sat for 3 months. Kibitsky sued, claiming the county withheld the documents, and a day before it was released, the deputy county administrator, Tom Burke, wrote he did not concur. And in a memo, he said the investigation.
Well, it's hard to get other employees who don't want to be, they're afraid of retaliation to sign those, right? It's a really hard thing to get, and not, afraid that they're going to lose their job or their pay increase as well, right? You provided me with the reports of the investigation, but without your own concurrence, I have read through the materials in the file of the investigation, and I disagree with the conclusion of Human Resources Investigation, Mike Tully. After reading the materials and listening to the taped interviews, I concluded that the investigation was not conducted in a neutral fashion, but believe the human resource investigator was biased in his line of questioning. Many of the questions were leading questions by which the human resources investigator suggested answers to the witnesses. The report quotes some statements out of context, causing them to be misleading. Okay.
Wow.
At the end, I do not believe that the Pima County Human Resources Department has authority to investigate complaints against elected officials.
Was not conducted in
Yep.
a neutral fashion, and the investigator was biased in his line of questioning. In addition to that, Burke didn't believe the county HR department has the authority to investigate complaints against elected officials. Elected officials are not employees of the Board of Supervisors and are not subject to discipline or dismissal by the board. So is that true? We reached out to the county administrator, Chuck Huckleberry, but he would not comment on the complaint. We also reached out to the Pima County Attorney's Office, the civil legal advisor for the county. They checked into it, but told me there is no public legal opinion on the oversight of elected officials like sheriff so they can't answer those questions. So at this point, unlike city police chiefs who must report to city officials, it seems the county sheriff is an elected official constitutionally accountable to the voters, but under no real oversight at all. And we'll continue to investigate and follow the developments. Valerie Cavazos, KGA 9 on your side.
No oversight whatsoever. No accountability.
No.
Deb, thank you so much, my dear. Is it possible that Nano's corruption Nancy was onto and he's leading us down a rabbit hole and not sending search teams for her case for reasons? I think, in my opinion, this man, just as my opinion, not a factual statement, but just an opinion, that he was over his head when this took place. I think, in my opinion, he released this house too quickly. He did a lot of things in error, and he did not, in my opinion, work with the partners, like he uses the term, of the FBI to the fullest extent. Remember, his brother died the next day after Nancy went missing. And I don't think there's, like, in my opinion, there's no there. I just think a lot of things were missed in the beginning, that the FBI, I mean, again, this mofo, in my opinion, he sent it to a lab in Florida. He could have simply given it to the FBI. They can turn it around faster than anybody. And it would have been done.
It was done on purpose, in my opinion. Yeah.
That's what I think it is. I think it's ego. Love your picture, by the way.
Yeah,
So,
ego and crookedness.
Mish, you can hype it after the live stream, my dear. Appreciate you very, very much. It's where the chat is. It'll say, like, hype. I think he's a control freak, in my opinion. There is a lot more. There's a lot more here. That
They're trying to recall him right now. Did you get the post I sent to you?
What do you mean recall?
Like, get him out.
Oh, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. Guthrie, former PCSD chief deputy Cameron rebukes the sheriff.
I'm Brian Webb and Trenton Hooker, and we're joined by a special guest, former Pima County Sheriff Richard Carmona.
Look
also
at
has an
this.
impressive resume as
Oh,
U.S.
damn.
Surgeon General and a SWAT team member before that. He's done it all. Teaching at U of A, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Mr. Carmona, we appreciate your time today.
Thanks. Happy to be with you guys. Thank you. Well, sir, you wrote an op-ed in the Arizona Daily Star about we're in week 3 of this investigation and the search for Nancy Guthrie, but you made some key points I thought were important to flesh out about the handling of this investigation, and more importantly, the messaging that's been put out there with where we're at. But can you tell me, on day 18, what is your take right now on if we're going to find Nancy Guthrie alive or we're going to find who took her?
We're at day
First, thanks for the
44.
opportunity to be with you. And please, before my remarks, if I just might comment that first and foremost, for all of my colleagues in law enforcement, this is about finding Savannah's mom. Savannah is like one of our children. She comes from the family. She was a reporter here for many years before going to New York. And I just want to make sure that the public understands that this is a mom that's missing and is of the utmost importance, which is why many of my colleagues in law enforcement here had some concerns with the way the sheriff was managing this, and especially his communication or very poor communication to the public, making statements that were, well, quite frankly, just awful and incorrect, and taking actions that were incorrect as well. So a number of us decided we needed to say something about it because we did not want it to reflect on our community and the Sheriff's Department, which has been an extraordinary law enforcement agency that I worked with for 3 decades and had a national reputation. But this aberrancy hopefully will go away, and we'll get back to doing what we're supposed to do. But I speak for most law enforcement in Southern Arizona, that we are very unhappy with the way this sheriff has conducted himself during this very important investigation.
Mr. Carmona, tell me what stood out to you first as a misstep by the current sheriff's office.
Well, I think the organization at the site with the incident, what's called incident command, and making sure that everybody understood exactly what they needed to do, and integrating with the FBI, who are a partner agency. Unfortunately, the sheriff has alienated them before in statements that he's made, including in the past of accusing them to be inept investigators.
What did I say? What did I say? What did I say? I've pulled up interviews where Sheriff Nanos from way back has criticized the FBI from jump. And now, in my opinion, we know why. Because, in my opinion, it's retaliatory because of the investigation into misappropriation of funds.
Yep.
It's grudge and ego. Grudge and ego.
Grudge and ego, yep.
Grudge, ego, and 1, and 2, and grudge, and ego. Yes. That's exactly, in my opinion.
Yeah. I can imagine what he's doing with other cases.
This is messy. This is really messy.
And at one point, when he was upset with them doing an investigation on other officers, he basically fired the FBI agents on the task force. So he's embarrassed us before in how he interacts with our fellow law enforcement agencies.
Oh my God.
He fired them. Fired them.
So this is a pattern. And then, like you just seen, like there was allegations of bullying, which they allegedly, it seems like they found substantiated, but not the physical abuse.
And again,
he even had inmates make reports about him.
That's right. You're right. Sure did, Daph.
Yeah.
He had even inmates.
For violating the Constitution or something. That's what
I don't know how his brother passed. I think he had been ill.
Oh.
Yep.
I've known her since she was a young girl coming out of college and was a cub reporter, and used to report on some of my work with the SWAT team and with the trauma center. So our heart goes out. We're working hard. I think at this point, it would only be conjecture. We are all concerned, and as a former detective and an officer, that the longer it goes, especially for an 84-year-old lady who has medical problem on medication, that the likelihood of her returning safely is less and less. Nevertheless, I know my colleagues are 100% committed to overturning every stone possible to find out where she is, and hopefully, with the grace of God, return her to her family.
Mr. Kerr.
And that's the thing. I'm not criticizing the other sheriff, the other deputies there or anything like that. But it starts at the head. It starts at the head, and it starts with opening up that relationship with the FBI, being transparent, not blocking the FBI. And allegedly, I think Brian Inton even had spoken about how that there were reports that Nanos was blocking the FBI in the first couple weeks, maybe 2 to 3 weeks of the investigation. Who does that? Who does that? If you don't have answers in 2 or 3 weeks, why the fuck are you blocking them?
It sounds like he's doing it deliberately. I don't know what a steal
What
is.
other way? I mean, in my opinion, what other way is there? You either do or you don't, man.
Yeah,
You either
yeah,
work with them or you don't.
exactly.
I mean, what other reason is there?
There isn't.
It's infuriating.
It is infuriating.
84-year-old Nancy was taken out in the middle of the night.
And he
We're doing
swept
everything we
her under
can.
the
Well,
rug. Yeah.
not the chicken, not the first 2 to 3 weeks. I don't think you did. You cleared the damn scene within 24 hours, dude. Went back in 3 or 4 times. And then I tell you when I lost faith in him. Never seen a sheriff say this in my life. Whenever the reporter, I've said this 1,000 times, I'll say it 1,000 times more. Whenever the reporter said, "Are you concerned about clearing the scene too fast?" and this going to court and them saying, people had, went in and out of the house, it could have contaminated the scene. And he said, "We'll let prosecutors deal with that." Like
Oh, yeah.
you just threw the damn prosecutors under the bus. You just threw the fucking prosecutors under the bus. The people
And mess.
who's trying to put all this together,
You're
doing
screwing it
their
up more
part.
for him.
The last thing the police are supposed to do is make it harder on the
Yeah.
prosecutor.
Exactly. He made it real hard on them. Yeah. So
Very
think about this. If they do capture somebody, right? And because he botched up doing all the evidence collection, they might have missed a piece because of that. And they couldn't put the perpetrator behind bars.
Not only that, every bit of the evidence could be thrown out because
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
contaminated.
Contaminated. Absolutely. Yep.
It could be deemed as not useful.
Yep.
Oh, well, you had people
400
walking up to
open.
that doorstep a million times. Remember,
Yeah,
I mean,
never.
people had walked up to that doorstep a million times. I don't care if it's YouTubers. I don't care if it's reporters. I don't care if it's delivery people. I don't care if it's adult CPS. And then days later, because, in my opinion, Sheriff Nanos was not working with the FBI, in my opinion, FBI can only do what they can do. So they show up there, put this cloth thingy around the door and do what they can do, even though it's been stepped on 2011 times already.
Yep. That's why they can't split the DNA, it seems like. Well, because there's so many people's DNA on the doorstep. So if they got something that was valuable there, there's other people that have been up there. Because they brought the white 10 in, what, like a week after?
Oh, longer
Remember
than
that? Yeah, maybe 2 weeks. I don't even know how they could collect anything from that. And still left the doormat, yeah. And the bracket for the camera.
They should have took the damn door and everything on day one.
Oh, so freaking stupid. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
It's amazing that someone's pride or ego, and I mean, we've seen it in missing children's cases and other cases as well, but
Not like this. This is
put it to the damn side. These are victims. These are families. They need answers. The community deserves answers. Nanos is saying, "Oh, well, everybody should be afraid after 40-some days. Everybody should be on alert." Well, maybe if you would
After
have,
45
really absolutely worked with the FBI, and I don't know, the first 2 to 3 weeks, we wouldn't be here.
And still
Mona,
don't
too,
bring
I wanna
in cadaver dogs.
I think they brought in cadaver dogs.
They did just for a day, but they won't bring them back out. Why not? And search more areas. I would be livid. I would be livid if I was the family. I would be flipping out.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, and again, I am truly not blaming the family members in this, whether it's Tommaso or Annie or anybody else. I am truly, because I, honest to God, have no idea who did this, right? But the reports is that Savannah is livid because people are looking or suspecting that family members could be involved. But again, Sheriff Nanos has been very unclear in different statements that he says. One day he'll say, nobody's cleared, not even the family. The next day he'll say that the family is cleared. You should be ashamed of yourself. And then
Well,
the
he
next day
did.
he'll say the family is cleared for now. Then they're going in the house.
He cleared them
Forensics,
after.
they kept their vehicle longer than anybody else that we publicly know.
And that
And
was the FBI that kept it, right? The FBI kept the vehicle.
allegedly. So there's just, like it's so like you want to be like Savannah and them, like, aren't you frustrated with the sheriff too?
Well, wasn't there allegedly, didn't Savannah reach out to the sheriff and was upset, right? And then the following day he cleared the family?
That's that's reported.
Didn't we hear
That's
that?
reported. That's, we don't know that as a fact, but in my opinion, I believe that it was pressure from
Mm.
the family that potentially that they were upset that family members were being blamed. And then that's when Nanos came out, because the day before he said nobody is clear, not even the family.
Yeah, the day before. Yeah.
Poor Nancy, man.
Ask, as not only being an investigator in these cases, especially high profile ones, but then also as a sheriff, can you talk about behind the scenes, especially your colleagues there at Pima County Sheriff's Department? What are they feeling where they're looking at all this armchair speculation, the media circus on trying to determine where she's at? But obviously they have information that they can't share with the public because they need to build a case.
Absolutely. And so it would be unrealistic to think that every day they're going to share all of their investigative leads into what's going on for obvious reasons. We don't want to tip off a suspect who may be fleeing if there's somebody in the area. However, in asking what my colleagues feel, all of us have been very embarrassed with the way law enforcement has been represented here. And we all feel this is not the level of law enforcement that we're used to as far as the public representation. The comments he made, for instance, when questioned by reporters about things that he had said and done in the past, he said, well, I'm not used to being held accountable by my words. That was just absolutely outrageous. Most of us want the media to hold us accountable by words and actions. So to say to the contrary wasn't embarrassing.
I am not used to being held accountable for my words. Your words is all you have, sir. You are an elected official, you buffoon.
And the taxpayers are paying you people.
Mm-hmm. Guys, we have 2,000 people watching. Whether you're in Daphne's, my chat, please hit that thumbs up button. Or if you're in the mobile, please double tap the screen. Would greatly appreciate it. It means truly more than you know. Thank you all for being here. Also share the live out, would mean so much. Exactly, Mary.
Embarrassment. So we have two things going on here. A community that's joined very strongly to do everything we can to find Savannah's mom. On the other hand, we're dealing with a leader in the Sheriff's Department currently who is below the standards that we have set in his communications, in his leadership ability, in his integrating the resources to solve this case. All of those things are problematic. and cause concern for all of us in leadership positions in law enforcement in Southern Arizona.
I want to get your take too on the question about the decision by Sheriff Nanos to send that DNA evidence.
Well, that's the thing. It feels like they're going to be intimidated or bullied, lose a job. I hope not lose their life, Michelle, but there's some weird things around that, in my opinion. But thank you so much. See, Zaria, thank you so much, my dear. Where did he get a mask in Tucson? It's hot there, isn't it? Winter is not cold for shoveling snow. Is there another place? Good point. Can you? That's a really good point.
It is.
Can you buy a ski mask at Walmart in Tucson?
I've never seen a balaclava like that, and I live up north. So, like, where do you buy those at? I mean, I've never looked for one though. I never like went into Walmart and been like, oh, I need to buy a balaclava today. You know,
That's a really good
something
point.
like that. Mm-hmm.
I mean, yet you would think it would have to be online. I mean, I just can't see Walmart in Tucson selling a ski mask.
Exactly. Maybe
That's a
around
very
where
good
you
point.
see, Amazon. But then he would have a paper trail, right? Like a digital footprint if he did buy it online. I feel like maybe he might have went to Goodwill or something and grabbed stuff, paid
I think it's
cash.
all brand new. I think it's all
You
brand
think
new
it's all
stuff.
brand new?
My opinion. Mystery Sky, thank you so much for 15 months. You are a rock star. Thank you. Really do appreciate you, my dear. Oh, it's definitely pre-planned. Definitely pre-planned, in my opinion.
Yeah.
My family, where was that? Where's my girl at? Hey, Miss Karen. My family says it gets pretty cold sometimes. It does get cold at night. It
Yeah,
does
it
get
drops
cold,
at night.
but it's not. I don't think it's ski mask worthy.
Not ski mask cold. My mom lives in like Las Vegas. She said it does get cold, but not like here, not like up north.
Some people was saying that maybe like a sports store.
What about
Walmart? They tend to
oh yeah, skiing in the
sell
mountains.
things. Walmart sell different things at different locations. I mean, they have a lot of the standard same things at a lot of the locations, but the area also can change that as well. So
Yeah, it
I
does
don't know,
snow
even
right
at a
there in
sport.
Mount Lemmon.
Maybe, yeah.
So maybe they bought it right there where you go skiing. So
There is some snow in the mountains there. That's a
hunting
good
stores.
point.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that too. Like, yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, no one wears ski mask unless you're up to no good. Exactly.
I think Joe lives in Arizona, if I recall correctly.
Oh, well.
Maybe maybe they didn't buy it. We don't know.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. If anybody's in Tucson, let me know if you guys can find a ski mask at Walmart or
Right in the chat. Does anybody in the chat have one of those? Let us know. Let us know if you have one. And if you do, where did you buy it? Just curious.
To a separate lab in Florida when the
I
FBI
wanna hear
has said
this.
that they offered their lab in Quantico. How did that strike you? And more importantly, how does that reflect on the cooperation between the two agencies?
Well, it's how it struck me, as well as many of my colleagues who I've spoken to. In fact, this afternoon, earlier at lunch, having lunch with the former FBI agent in charge down here, it was just incredible. I mean, why wouldn't you partner with one of the best investigative agencies in the world, which has the best forensic lab in the world, and send it to a private lab? And when he was questioned, he said, it's because it was cheaper. The FBI doesn't charge you. when you're doing this investigation with them, they take the cost on for them. And
That just shows you it's just an excuse. That just shows you right there that this is just bread, circus, and pompous and circumstance. That's all. Because it's cheaper. Okay. I know that thing. Okay. Now that I'm just thinking about something. Now that's really interesting coming from someone who was allegedly using RICO money for plaques and tuxedos and all of this stuff as well. And just like the former sheriff said right here, the FBI doesn't charge you. They are literally the best agency in the world with the most technology out of anyone in the world. They can turn it faster over than anybody.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you so much, Lori. Just sent an email. Walmart scheme asks $2.80. Yes, but is that at in-store? I mean, I know you can get it online, Walmart. I get that .com. But is that in-store Tucson ski mask? In-store location.
even if it was a cost, for sure,
Thank you, my dear.
you want to work with the FBI and the forensics lab because they're the best in the world. Now, this is nothing against the private lab. I don't even know who they are. But if you have a joint investigation with FBI agents here, I believe about 70 agents pulled from around the country and locally to assist in this investigation, an incident command system, and we're offered the best crime lab in the country. Why wouldn't you say yes and thank you? So it was perplexing to all of us who have been in law enforcement down here.
Richard, do you think these missteps, whether it's messaging or actions, have put Nancy Guthrie's life in even further danger than it already is?
I don't think so, and here's why. And all of the officers I've spoken to, the detectives, the FBI agents down here, they are 100% committed. And really what's happening now, the comments that the sheriff is making really are just a distraction that they're deflecting and staying focused on the mission. The mission is to put all resources possible. And I speak for my colleagues in the Pima County Sheriff's Department as well. All those detectives that are working tirelessly, the deputies that are out there doing traffic control, everyone is focused on this mission. We are just disappointed at the level or lack of leadership at the senior position and some of the remarks that are quite embarrassing that have been made. And the other one is, prematurely releasing the crime scene. You cannot release a crime scene and then say, oops, I'll reconstitute it. Once it's violated, the evidence is no longer being able to be submitted because it will be rejected by a judge because it's tainted. You don't know if anybody contaminated the crime scene.
There you go.
And by his own words, he said he
said.
made that decision. So something that's absolutely astonishing in a case like this or any case to be able to, in fact,
This guy is way more level-headed. Way more level-headed. Way more, seems more fair, seems a lot more well-spoken. And he's making all the points, this former sheriff.
in investigations like this, often the criticism we get as detectives was, well, you've got that crime scene open so long, can't you release it? And what your answer is, when I'm done and I'm certain I've identified all potential evidence in this area, I will release it, but not until then, because we need to preserve the integrity of the investigation. And your network and others showed shortly thereafter a pizza delivery man walking across the whole area.
This is the former sheriff, and he is criticizing current sheriff Nanos.
No, and we were all astonished when we saw that on TV.
Well, and even yesterday, we were seeing landscapers go out to take care of certain things. The day before, it was
Pool
a
guys.
pool guy going.
Yep.
Yeah.
Landscape, pool guys, phone, internet, pizza guys, delivery, CPS, reporters, YouTubers, complete strangers, ladies with their asses hanging out, gothic lady with her ass hanging out.
My gosh.
You name it. You name it.
You name it, they were there. Yep. And you know how hard it is for a former sheriff or somebody else working in the department to speak about another officer?
It's the only
That's
case
hard,
I've
right?
ever seen any law
You don't do
enforcement,
that.
'cause it's kind of like it's a brotherhood, right? And you just don't
Exactly.
speak on other law enforcement.
You
It's
don't
the only
you
case I've
don't
ever
do
seen
it.
law enforcement, like, you gotta be a real,
Yeah.
in my opinion, piece of
Oh, yeah.
work.
Absolutely. And, something I wanted to mention, Justin, what about all the new officers, right? It seems like they've got a lot of new officers there. Is
Mhm.
that a coincidence
We were
or
talking about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, how you know what I mean? And then he said he was gonna polygraph them after they were hired. Don't you polygraph them before they're hired? Like, that's just strange. Paige, thank you so much. It's always good to see you as well. Thank you.
Thank
I
you, Miss
really do
Paige.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Did you see the professional briefing law enforcement gave regarding the missing Air Force general in New Mexico? It was 180 degrees from the Nanos debacle. Really? No, I did not, SD. Hamatu, thank you so much for gifting a pearl necklace, my friend. Really do appreciate you. You received that. Make sure you give our Hamatu a big, big thank you. Little poochie pooch, so cute. Thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate you.
Mhm.
No Nance wants to know
Aw.
who he can train to be a schemer after her. Well, it seems like okay, well,
More
think
the
about
questions?
this. Think about this. We were learning last night that 98% of county law enforcement, I think that was the word that was used, votes against like his conduct, his
Mhm.
performance.
98%. Yep.
And
That's
the
crazy.
2% has to be like in my opinion, just
Sleeping.
under him.
Yeah. His
You
little
know?
soldiers.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Thank you so much,
Or
Miss
did
Lori.
something wrong.
Appreciate you, my dear. Nanos seems so corrupt in my opinion. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much, Lori. Appreciate you, my love. The union president said he put a bunch of unexperienced guys on the desk duty and a bunch of other transferred out when he was elected. So
Mhm.
the newbies are mostly all he has. Well, it's like, to me, it seems like, this is my opinion, another way he can control. Does that make sense? Whenever there's rookies on board,
Mhm.
they're less likely
Yeah.
to speak up, in my opinion, fire back, uh, uh, bring something forward as well.
Mhm. He can mold them.
Mhm.
The thing
In the
is,
way
none of
it
those, again, if it's a working crime scene, nobody comes in. In fact, the way we establish that, there are officers on the perimeter, and anybody
Mhm.
that goes in or out of the crime scene, there's a log. What time you went in, what time you went out. You can't take anything out. If there's evidence you're taking out, it has to be what we call bagged and tagged. There's a number for it, and it's recorded. So when you take the crime scene away, you have no control over that environment anymore.
Maybe.
And I don't know that it was contaminated, but I'm saying when the risk of contamination is great and confounding an investigation, which is why all of my colleagues had the same conclusion down here that, my gosh, what was the benefit of releasing that crime scene when we still had an investigation going on?
Thank you.
Richard, too.
Thank you. Like, why do you need to release the crime scene whenever, like, what's the hurry? What's the hurry? Nancy wasn't found. Family didn't give a damn about getting
Mhm.
in there or not, right? They just wanted their loved one found. There's no need.
We have about a couple
He
minutes
wanted
left.
to so
But
he can get
I
it
wanna
done
ask
before the
you,
FBI came in.
Yeah. I think he wanted to just be like, "Oh, we got it. Don't worry about it. Go ahead. Y'all go."
Mhm.
now,
Yep.
obviously,
Go
like you
on.
said,
Yep.
the
That's what he
push and
wanna
the
do.
feeling have to find Nancy, have to find the people that are doing this. Respecting that, can you talk about what's going to happen in the aftermath of this as far as the Tucson community? We've had the media circus there. We've had the spotlight there. We've had all this pressure put on the department. How do you feel like what's going to be left in the aftermath once we move on?
Well, you know, if I were still there and some of my colleagues in leadership, there would be an after action report. And that's the first thing. And to be asked the question, what did we do correct? What could we do better next time? I have no idea if that will be done this time because the person in command makes that decision. So I think that the focus has to be, where were the missteps? Why did this happen? Who do we hold accountable for these missteps? Because it embarrassed all of us, and not only locally. This is, as you know, has gone nationally and then globally. I've had reporters calling me from all over the country. And so it's something that we are all embarrassed about that was 100% preventable if we had the appropriate leadership overseeing this investigation and ensuring the integrity of the investigation. So all of those questions have to be answered in an after action report.
Yep.
But again, I want to emphasize many of those officers that are there, both federal and local, I know personally, and they are working their butts off to do everything they can. Some of them are in overtime, some of them are coming on days off, and they are some of the best investigators in the world, as far as I'm concerned. But yet, where our weakest challenge is in that leadership at the highest level, and having a sheriff who continues to embarrass us by his words and deeds.
Richard, got about 30 seconds left. What's your best hope of how this might wrap up and we get Nancy back?
Well, I'm hoping, you know, it's really kind of a wing and a prayer. I mean, like I said, for Savannah, this is not a theoretical consideration. She's a young gal that grew up here and went to school here. We know her. So it breaks our hearts to see this. Our best hope would be that somebody's holding her, maybe hoping for a ransom, but is feeding her and giving her a medicine so that when it's over, she can come home. That would be my hope. I don't have any evidence to support that, but that's what we're all hoping, that there is some place out there that she's safe. Because if she hasn't gotten her medicine, if she hasn't been well hydrated, nutrition and all of that, after 3 weeks, what's the likelihood that an 84-year-old lady would be surviving and doing well? So, you know, our prayers are with the family. And I can tell you, every cop I know, every detective I know is doing everything they possibly can to bring this case to closure.
Richard Carmona, thank you for joining us, sir, and being here to share your important perspective. Really appreciate it.
Well, thank you, gentlemen, for letting the public know what's going on.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, this has to be very, very frustrating. Yes.
I just sent you something new. And also, do you think, and I'm not saying he did this, but do you think that he could have, if he is this corrupt and egotistic, do you think he could have taken some evidence and maybe disposed of it somewhere?
I don't think so.
So it wouldn't be solved?
Yeah.
You don't think he would do that? I don't trust him.
I don't. I think he is, in my opinion, too arrogant. He wants to solve it on his own. I think, nope, it's me. I'll do it. I'll solve it. I don't need you guys.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of people disagree with me, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
Just my opinion, but a lot of people. I think it's just his ego, and he's just, nope, I'll solve it. I don't need you guys. I got it.
After what you showed me just a little while ago, it really makes me sick to my stomach what he's done.
Got some bunch of new stuff coming in. So Megyn Kelly is reporting that a closer look to what could have been in the pocket of the man seen in the Nancy Guthrie Nest camera footage. Okay, here we go.
After the abduction, but nothing the night of.
You know, in my early days,
there's no way we'd be seeing those images of the guy pulling the vegetation out and putting him on the doorbell if he had a Wi-Fi jammer on him. You know, I don't know what to believe, but it is strange that they see lots of thumbnail images prior to her abduction, the police after the abduction, but nothing the night of.
Yes. Yeah. And again, so they have camera footage of, and I said this yesterday, Daphne, they've got video footage of outside of the guy, which means that camera was clearly working. Inside, the cameras were off during the crime. There's thumbnail images. However, after the police get there, the cameras are working, which, in my opinion, it would look way too suspicious if the camera outside was not working. You could say, well, the cameras inside might not be working because you could say privacy or whatever. But if you had the cameras off outside, that would look really weird. And the only way someone's going to be able to do that is if they have control of like an app, in my opinion.
Why, number one, why would she have cameras inside the first place? Like, were they hidden cameras she didn't know
Yeah.
about? Were they nanny cams or?
They're like nanny cams, like in case she fell or something, allegedly.
Then, okay, maybe did she shut them off or did? That's strange.
Well,
I don't think he had a Wi-Fi jammer, but I could be wrong.
I don't either at all. But this is the thing. She couldn't have shut him off, in my opinion, because someone had to. How did they turn back on? How did they turn back on once the police were there?
Yeah, unless somebody has an app, like you said, and they're able to turn them off. Didn't they say something about being looped or something? They were in a loop. So it has. I would like to know when that loop started. Right? Did it start right then and there at the time that they got there, or did it start like a day prior or a week prior? Like, when did the loop start? That's my question.
Yeah. Well, we know that all we know is that the cameras on the inside was not working during the alleged crime, as well. But after the police got there, the inside was working. Now, I was talking about how, for instance, someone she could have hired someone to help put these cameras in, and when they set up her app or whatever, because an 84-year-old lady doesn't know how to do that. The family could have hired someone to set these cameras up, set the account up, get it on Wi-Fi, get it online. Thank you so much for helping me, hook up my camera, kind of thing. I can see that all day long.
But how long have they been installed? When were those cameras installed too, right?
Right. But here's another thing. If I'm going to take the cameras, first of all, he took the camera outside.
Yes.
Well, but he didn't take the cameras inside.
Did he know about the cameras inside?
I don't see
If
how
they're
he
nanny
couldn't.
cams.
I mean, they were turned off on the inside, and they're turned on once the police get there. And so, if I'm going to, if I know there's no subscription, right, on these cameras, am I going to take them or not? He took the one on the outside.
But the thing is, yeah, he did take the one on the outside. Even with no subscription, though, it does still send alerts. I don't know what type of camera she had inside, but the Nest and the Ring are similar. So it still sends alerts to her. And if you watch it live, you can actually see it happening at that time. So, and the FBI were able to pull off of that too. So I wonder if he knew that, if he knows about electronics then and decided to
Well,
take,
I don't even think it was the
but then it
FBI
goes to the
that
cloud.
did it. It was a private it was a private,
Oh, it was Google. It was Google. That's right. Google did it.
yeah,
Yeah.
which they didn't even know they could do it anyways. So,
Well, that was the cloud where these cameras did the footage go to a cloud. So they had to, if you
no,
have to use an app or something, right?
only if you pay for the subscription. If you don't pay for the subscription, it's not going into the cloud because that's what the subscription is the cloud service.
But they were still able to get the footage off the cloud though.
No, it wasn't through the
It's
cloud.
very limited.
It was through it was
Where does it
through
go?
how can I, like, the data that it's still like the cookies and the everything that's
Oh, the cache?
like yeah, like that. It's but it still goes to the company. It's just not saved, right?
Mhm.
But they were still able to get that data, some of it at least.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Mhm.
Like the cache. Yeah. Uh, I don't know what type of cameras that were inside. You say they're like nanny cams or something, but I don't know.
Allegedly, they were the
The
same type cameras.
Oh, Nest cameras?
Mhm. Yes.
That's interesting. I wonder why he didn't take those then, unless he didn't know about them. But they were turned
Mm,
off. So that's
I mean,
that's so odd. Did he make her turn them off maybe or something? Or
but well, again, you can go back to this. Why the hell was the neighbor's cameras, only 2 of them that is pointing at Nancy Guthrie's house, off at the time this was happening?
Mhm. Mhm. There
Very
had to been
odd.
another person. Yeah, it is very odd. My gosh. So this person had
You
to
know, in
have
my early days,
known if it was
They had to know something.
how to use yeah, they had to know how to work with cameras and electronics then. They had to
So
know
they
what
had to
type
know
cameras she had.
they had to know, again, if it's just not some wild random thing. They had to know about the neighbor's cameras
It's
too.
not. Yeah, they had to have. So it has to be somebody that lives in the area and that's been inside her home. Because you're not just gonna sit there and be like, "Oh, there's a
Oh,
camera, let me Google it and see how it." Yeah, like, even though he was
1000%.
there for 40 some odd minutes, but, wow. Wow, that really makes me think.
Mhm.
investigators, some places would have surveillance cameras, security cameras, and the bank cameras always work. And I'm sure Maureen can attest to that. You move the old film, take it, get it processed. There you have pictures of the bank robbery in progress. But invariably, the other ones, private security, whatever, if you're lucky, if you get half the time that they actually work. Then we went to a whole point in time where all these cameras worked all the time, and they solved so many cases, not just cases Maureen and I worked,
Man,
but
it's the
other cases we
Wi-Fi,
read about in the
not
media.
the Bluetooth
Now
thing.
we have this case of Nancy Guthrie. They have enough enough wherewithal to install a camera system in there, and even around the pool, whatever. And we have these failures to perform, if you will, or failures to provide an accurate recount of what happened that night. And yeah, I mean, the jammer part was always, I listened to, I think we discussed it last week, and I listened to that part, and sure, it's a possibility, a little bit extra sophistication that I would have given
That's
this
the word,
guy,
Haley.
and
Thank
really
you.
nothing else makes sense so far.
Residual.
But does the person somehow know the system to begin with, and it didn't require a sophisticated jammer type mechanism, but just knew the weaknesses and the flaws it contained therein? Or did they do something days or weeks before to somehow counteract that system? I don't know. He could have just been lucky, and these particular images don't work. And the last thing I'll leave you with here is I appreciate all the sources that media people have. I was never a source. I never asked Maureen this question. I'm positive She was never a source for a media outlet. And you just have to be careful sometimes of what ABC and other outlets are reporting. And we know for a fact, I will say this emphatically, that the investigators have a lot more information, including surveillance images, than we know about. Of course, they're not perfect, not all the ones they may want to see of the guy in progress, but at the same time, they have more than we know. And still shots, could do moving video people, could be animals, could be human. These are all things that the investigators know, and hopefully they're pouring it down into a funnel, and they have a little stream of evidence that they will eventually know will take them to the actual abduction.
Which the one guest Megan had on earlier, he claims that they don't have shit. They don't have nothing, pretty much. And again, even as incompetent as, in my opinion, as Nanos is, they got to have more. Like, there's just no way. As high profile as this is, as so many people has seen this guy's video, this guy's picture, someone has to know this guy. They've got to have more. I just cannot see it any other way, really.
With the cameras, the way they were turned off and looped, that has to pinpoint someone down that they've been in that house, and not just to work on a roof or something like that, right? It has to be someone that either set those cameras up for her, or a friend that knows where the cameras are placed. And knows what kind they are.
I mean, I don't even think it's, in my opinion, it's not even a question that it's someone that maybe not even the people who, or person who broke in, but someone has to have that information.
They know.
Right?
Yeah, like someone she was with, hanging out with, or something that's been in the house, and they've been documenting everything for this perpetrator to break in.
Well, like this guy right here. So I don't believe he is the main guy. I do not believe he is the main guy. The way he, I was speaking last night, the way he walks up, if this would have been some big ass criminal, he would have ripped the damn thing off, and he would have knocked his way in the door. This guy's got his head down. He is just taking his time. These people had 40 some minutes in the home. This particular one guy that's walking up there, he doesn't have the emotion behind this. I feel like he's the help, or he's the paid person to do this, because to me it's like he was almost double thinking himself.
Yeah, and the thing with the door, right? That's a security door that she has on. So why would he even try to get in through that door? Like, why not go try the other ones, right? Like, who's going to try to get in through a security door?
According to the neighbor, that door is very hard to get into.
Yeah, so wouldn't you go see if there's a...
And there's just no, what's the word, forced entry that we're aware of. How'd you get in?
Exactly. So why would he try that door's handle and stuff, right? Like, why he was like trying to open that door, like he was waiting for somebody to unlock it for him. Like, one look at that door, you'd be like, oh hell no, I'm gonna go look for a regular door, or a sliding glass door, or a window to get in.
Think about this. If let's say someone was there the 11th or the 24th, and they are so key inept to checking out these cameras, right? The two neighbors' cameras that weren't working. The cameras that weren't working inside. if you are so conscious about all of these cameras, then why are you going to just walk up and be like this to the camera and then go
Yeah.
get some flowers and be like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you're very conscious about the neighbor's cameras, the cameras inside, but not the outside one.
You think maybe he was waiting to be let in? It's just... Also, the one neighbor said that she witnessed somebody walking in the neighborhood. Do we
That's
know
the
what day that was?
the 11th.
The 11th? Okay, so
Mhm.
that's why they want footage for that date. The 24th, what
No, no, no.
happened around that date?
What? No. Okay. So they had already wanted footage around the 11th, and then they came and spoke to the neighbor, and she said, by the way, there was this weird guy, because it was like right, I can't remember if it was before or after her birthday. She said, by the way, there was this guy that was outside my bathroom window in the direction of Nancy's, like walking, we'll call it a common area, like toward Nancy's house with his head down. And that was the 11th. And they were surprised because they was asking about the 11th prior. And then, so it was, they was already asking about it. And this just happened to be the 11th. That is not the only reason why they were asking about the 11th.
Okay. Okay, I got you.
Which is kind of a double
I see what you're
fold.
saying.
The 11th is something.
Okay, I see what you're saying. No, the 27th is Nancy's birthday.
Yes.
But she had the party on, was it Saturday?
I can't remember.
Did she have it the,
Day
maybe
before.
it was, gosh. Yeah, maybe the day before,
I
because her
don't
friend had
remember.
asked her if she was gonna... Yeah, it was the February 1st, I believe, the party was. Her birthday was the 27th. The 31st, thank you, the 31st was the party, okay. So the 24th, what did she do on the 24th?
The 31st was the party?
I know it was a couple days prior, because I know her friend,
She went missing
that
on
she
the
was supposed to meet up with.
31st
No, it was the
of the 1st. It couldn't have been the 31st.
goodness, I can't. No, because that was the night, yeah. Her birthday was the 27th, I know that for a fact. And then she had a party after that, so maybe that was on the 30th.
Her birthday
Or
was
the
the
20th.
27th.
Yeah, so January 27th.
I don't know, Maureen. You know, the neighbors are saying that their cameras stopped working on the night in question, right around the time that Nancy was taken. But again, other experts are saying if you had a Wi-Fi jammer sophisticated enough to jam the Wi-Fi at the neighbors' properties, there is zero chance we would have those images of the guy coming onto the patio and messing with the ring
Thank
door.
you. And this is what I said this the other night. Nobody even said this. I said, if this was a Wi-Fi jammer used, right? This is okay. I'm going to jam the damn door before I get to it. I'm going to jam the camera before I'm going to put flowers in front of it. There's no door. There's no jammer. And these jammers, to jam the neighbor's camera and not jam this camera makes no sense. And these jammers, to jam like several houses, it would require a very big jammer. Not going to happen.
Well, like if he had the
Unless he didn't
Wi-Fi
turn the
jammer, and
jammer-
What's that? Oh, I think she had an echo, maybe.
I didn't say
it
anything.
shut things down at 147.
Yeah.
Did you say something? Sorry, there's a little delay between us. What's that?
Oh, no, I didn't. I think there was just an echo with her.
Okay.
Right? Because they're saying the doorbells went offline at 147. cameras went offline, but then an image was captured at 2:12. Like, what happened with the Wi-Fi jammer? It worked at 1:47, and then we forgot to use it when we actually approached the house.
Well, it depends on the user. You know, so much of this could be chalked up to you.
The breaker were flipped on the fuse box. Wi-Fi can't run. That that is true, but why is there thumbnails, and why is the neighbor's camera still off? I'm still not
User error,
satisfied.
but I agree with Fitz. I think a jammer just seems a little bit too sophisticated for that clown we saw on the front
Thank
porch.
you.
I think it's far more likely it was a walkie-talkie, because clearly they didn't have their phones with them, or their phones certainly weren't on, because we weren't able to find them. The cast team wasn't able to find them, and they're the best in the world at this stuff. So my guess is it's a walkie-talkie. They're easy to get. They're cheap. You can buy them at a swap meet. You can buy them anywhere. And it's just like, yeah, we've got her at the front door. Pull up to the front of the house. The camera's been disabled.
So that's
Boom,
it. So
up
if it's
she
a
comes.
walkie-talkie, Maureen, he's got an accomplice.
Yeah, I believe he has an accomplice.
1000%.
I've said that from the very beginning. I think there are two people involved.
At
I don't
least.
think there were 5 people involved, but I think 2 people were involved. And who knows, maybe the guy that was at the door is dead already, because it's pretty hard to keep a secret when you have 2 people involved and there's $1 million on the table, $1.2 million on the table. It's hard.
Well, it would make perfect sense if that's a walkie-talkie, he's got somebody helping him. But what doesn't make sense is that person around at the back door getting in that way. Again, our report was that there was signs of force. Ashley reported that there were signs of forced entry and that the back door was found wide open.
So Ashley's reporting that there was signs of forced entry. See, that's the thing. Everybody's just reporting something different.
That was muted. Yeah, exactly. I heard there wasn't forced entry, but actually, I don't know.
That's
Question.
the problem. Well, yes.
Question. Sorry, I know we're on a little of a delay. Okay, so those Nest cameras and Ring cameras, right? They run off battery. They're battery operated. For instance,
The neighbors wasn't.
Okay, so the neighbors was actually wired in. We remember that. But Nancy's doorbell wasn't, I don't think. It ran off battery, just like mine does, but I have a solar connection for it, so I don't have to take the battery out every single day. Now, it seems like Nancy actually took the back. I don't see no solar panel on hers or rechargeable anything on her
You
doorbell camera.
You don't have to recharge them that often. They actually last quite a long time.
I have to. Mine lasts a day. And that's on the least notifications. That's just on if somebody comes in my yard, it's like, hey,
No.
That's why I got the solar thing.
No, you shouldn't have to do it like it's.
Both mine.
They
It's a
last
full,
for months.
day.
They last for months.
Not mine. Not mine. My Ring camera dies after 1 day.
My camera lasts for 3. Yeah, mine lasts for months. Mine lasts for months. That's what I'm saying.
No, I gotta recharge my battery. What I'm saying is I gotta
That's
take the
what we're
battery
saying.
actually out and plug it in, and
That's what we're saying.
What?
We're saying the same thing.
What? How?
That's what I'm
My
saying. You need
battery
to.
dies within a day.
No, there's something wrong with your battery.
Both of my cameras are like that. Like one I have to literally take out every day and charge it. The other one has a solar panel, so I don't have to charge that one.
No,
What
mine
the
lasts for
crap?
months.
That's crazy. What?
Yeah, mine lasts for 3 months. Yeah. Mine lasts for 7
heck
months.
is wrong
Yeah,
with my cameras?
I know mine lasts. I can't remember, but it's several months.
Wow.
I'll say at least minimum 3
Maybe the
months.
cold, yeah. Well, I've had
No,
mine
maybe
for
cold.
I've had both of mine for a couple years, so
If it's less
yeah,
than
every
3
day I
months,
have to
okay,
charge
there's
them.
No.
Every day I have to charge
I
them.
wouldn't have it if I had to recharge it every day.
Oh, it's a pain in the butt. That's why I bought the solar thing, because it just
No.
keeps it charged, right?
Yeah, I think there's
But
something. I
the other
think
one,
there's defective or something.
they're Ring stick-up cameras. Oh, they're a pain in the butt. Except, I mean, that's why I bought the solar one. For the other one I have to charge every day. So that's what I was thinking. I was like, does she have to take in her battery every day and charge it? But if you guys are saying 7 months or so,
You need to
then
check your
dang,
warranty or
what's
something.
wrong with something draining my batteries, killing my plants and draining my batteries? Good grief. Yeah, solar's amazing. Just a little pop-in thing and it charges. Dang.
Or you give a birthday party manager, you come over and shut down the camera, only you don't shut down the doorbell camera.
Yeah, it does suck up.
Okay. What was you saying?
No. No, that's what I was just wondering. Now that, I mean, you guys are saying that the battery lasts longer than mine, because I was saying, well, if she has to, damn, what the fuck is wrong with my batteries?
We were saying
So
the
I
same
thought
thing,
maybe,
but you was like, I'm charging my Ring doorbell every day, and I'm thinking, I haven't charged mine. It's March now, and I haven't charged mine since probably since before Christmas.
that's crazy. I'm seriously, mine runs out. Now I do have birds that will come and like, and it'll, but
Mm.
dude, I do. I'll put them. I put my cameras in. I shouldn't say this, in bird feeder, like little bird houses, so the birds think it's something for them, I guess.
Yeah.
So I see a bird's face. God,
Daphne cracks me up.
Oh yeah, the wildlife around here is nuts. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, she sent me a
Got
thing of
possum
the
coming up.
woodpecker the other day, and the trees.
Oh God, the trees down, guys. I have a pile of mulch. As soon as the snow's gone, I'm using that.
Okay, guys, are y'all ready for this? Y'all ready for this?
My God.
Brian
We are
Inton
ready.
is talking about construction people. Construction. We're going to the YMCA here. Young men, there's no need to feel down. I said young men. Okay, here we go. Let me find this. Go to Brian Inton. Mods, can you please drop Mr. Inton's link? I'm going to put his stuff in the description as well.
What I call them nuggets with the Nancy Guthrie case. The first thing is I'm back home in Florida, but I obviously made a lot of friends in the neighborhood and stuff. And one of the neighbors texted me this morning. She texted me early. She said, I wanted to tell you that the FBI came over today, had some more questions about some things that I saw. They also called my friend who's building a house down the street from Nancy. They wanted to know all of the workers and contractors at that house. Leads me to the conclusion that they are no further along than day 2. That's just what she thought. But what I was interested in is they wanted to know all of the workers and contractors from a house that's being built down the street. What does that say to you?
I don't see it being, I don't see it being, this is just my opinion. I don't see it being a contractor down the street. It could be. I don't see it. In my opinion, I
feel like it's somebody close.
It is. Hell yes, it is. It is. He looks like he got
I've
some
had
really
my
good
first
stuff.
thought, and I stick to that.
Yeah.
He looks sunburned. I
Damn
feel
it,
like it's somebody really close. I feel the same as I felt in the beginning, but since they, came out and said, I don't know, I've been thinking different possibilities, but I don't know.
Why do we ask like we're it's just we all have our way of talking. Ram it.
Hmm?
He says, "Why
What?
does Americans always sound like we're asking a question for everything? Like we raise our voice. A lot of times, a lot of people raise their voice at the end of, you know, just like, we all have our own dialect and all that. So, well, I don't think it's necessarily rude or anything like that because, I mean, Americans, we round our words generally. We talk, we have different accents and stuff, but it's fading. But like, if you go to India, you're going to talk like this. You know what I mean? If you go to Britain, you're going to, would you like a cup of tea? Something like that. We all just have our own dialect and the way we say things. That's okay. We are the world. We are the
Or
children. Okay.
Derwood with
Got it.
arse.
Yeah.
Arse.
Durwood.
My arse.
My arse. Okay. Sorry. You're getting me on my whole rampage now.
Oh,
Well,
good night, Mike.
obviously, it means they're retracing steps. And, I've used this analogy with you before.
That's how my little nephew sounds like. He's a little Scottish, born and raised in Scotland. He sounds just a little Scotty through and
Aw.
through.
You can't find your car keys.
Aw.
And you walk through the house or the apartment, you look for where you usually leave them, they're not there. Then you have to go back and you have to retrace and you have to say, hey, what pants were I wearing? Or where's my purse or whatever like that. And you
Do you know how many times a day I have to say, where's my pants or where's my purse? And in the same sentence.
I always say, where's my
seriously,
freaking keys?
Sir, where's my pants? And come here, put it in my purse. Give me the money, put it in my purse. Okay. In the same sentence. Thank you, sir.
Oh
Give me
my
my
God.
pants and put the money in my purse. Okay. There you go.
You go to the second level. When you get down to the third or fourth level, these are things you don't usually check, but you may start pulling cushions off beds or off couches, things like that. And you'll go in deeper and deeper and deeper. And so people say, why didn't the FBI do this already? Because the normal search yields your keys in about 20 seconds. The secondary search yields them in about 2 to 5 minutes. And if you start with undoing the couches or the couch cushions in your living room, you'll never get to the bedroom where the keys are. So they are now obviously to the point where they are pulling up cushions in the couch. And I think that would explain they are not actually at day 2, though I understand completely why it seems that way. They are where they would have been if all normal searches didn't work.
And just specifically with workers and contractors, like in my neighborhood right now, there's a lot of construction and there's just an enormous amount of people that come in and out that are working on houses. And you can kind of, they are not people that I recognize from the neighborhood. They're usually in work trucks, they're in pickup trucks. Is there anything specific that stands out to you that they're looking at a house that's being built and trying to talk to all the workers involved? Does that stand out for a specific reason, or do you just think they're trying to cover everything?
No, it does stand out for one reason. And I don't know if you're going to find this fascinating or not, but the theory of the crime is a big deal. The theory of the crime informs every other bit of investigation you do. And from the beginning, the theory of the crime has been that this was targeted, that this wasn't a random thing where somebody goes to a house, he doesn't know who he's going to find inside. He's thinking, I'll just get the usual cash in the underwear drawer and, some jewelry, watches, something like that. But no, that's not what happened here, according to everything I've seen. And
there's no way that this would be some what?
He's like the normal cash in the underwear drawer. I would never keep dirty money next to my underwear. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, you're missing out.
Sorry, but I would.
That's
Oh
exactly where
hell!
I keep
You
mine.
know what's on money?
Is in my
That's
underwear drawer. Nobody's
that's
gonna touch it.
disgusting.
Nobody's gonna touch
Oh
it.
my god, my grandma used to put it in the floor and the
I'm just kidding.
picture frames, like
How about just keep it in the bank?
not in my. Oh, not in my underwear. Hell no. That's the dirtiest.
Like I said, sir, give me my pants and give me my purse. Thank you.
By this investigation, that the FBI believes. They believe that this is targeted. So then you have to find out who would target it, obviously going back to the beginning. But there are 2 or 3 areas. Did they target Nancy? Did they target Savannah? Did they target
They
Annie? They targeted this residence.
I want to hear your thoughts, Daphne. I want to hear the chat's thoughts on this as well. Does anyone think that they targeted Savannah in this? Because I don't see it. I don't see it. In
No, I
my
don't either.
They would have left
Mm-mm.
a ransom letter at the house. They would have said, "Don't call the cops." They would have contacted the one with the money, Savannah, or at least her
Mhm.
network or something like that. And
Yeah.
would
None
have
of
had
those
help
are.
if it was a lone wolf. Does anyone think that? Am I missing something?
No, I agree with you. Like you said, they didn't even contact her network or even the network she used to work for, right? They contacted KOLD, they contacted KOVA, and they contacted TMZ.
Yeah.
None of
Yeah.
those she worked
To me,
at,
that's not
so I don't
even.
think this.
It's not even. To me, it's just like the last concern that I'm
Yeah.
thinking about. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. I agree.
For a specific purpose. I believe 100% they knew that Nancy Guthrie was on the other side of that door when they were trying to cover up the Ring camera. So this goes to the point that while the FBI may have changed their theory of why she was targeted, they have not for 1 minute changed their theory that she was targeted. And so to target somebody, you have to, in some way, shape, or form, come in contact with them.
Yes.
And you think that leads back to why they're interested in a contractor from down the street?
Yeah, I would think so. And
I mean, okay. I'm thinking about this because I was thinking, no, not a contractor down the street. But then I was thinking maybe that contractor down the street's worked for her before. And you know how a lot of contractors will do, once your neighbor sees the contractor, they'll be like, "Hey, can you come over here and look at this job? Or can I get an estimate?" Perhaps.
Yes, word of
Perhaps.
mouth, like this. Yes, absolutely. Word of.
No, we
Oh, I
can't,
need
Ram.
that done. Who did you use? Yeah, I need this done in my house. Who did you use? Yeah.
The fact that we are talking about the contractors tells me it's going cold. I don't think it's. I hope it's not going cold, but I will say, as the way that they tried to throw off like the media and the YouTubers and stuff when they were going to do like the search warrant and stuff, to me, they could be leaking out stuff off the cuff to people in the press, because police
For
can
a
lie to
reason.
you, but they'll lie. They can lie. They're more likely they're not going to do it publicly. In this case, they might do it privately and just throwing out shit left and right.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of people with construction records work, like they have records. Absolutely. I mean, I'm really, the electrician really bothers me.
Mm-hmm. I still think something about the 3 people moving out too, that we spoke about in the beginning. And then there was that flash of light in the video when he bent down to get the foliage. There was that flash of light in the background. Now I don't know what it is, if it's a vehicle or if it's a flashlight or if it's a light coming on. But that would be in the vicinity of where those people moved out, allegedly. Or maybe they just heard something going on, or their light caught something, or
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do we know any details about the people who moved away? Allegedly, it's 3 dudes. Now, one thing that the first neighbor that Brian Inton spoke to, she did say that there was weird people in the neighborhood, and she did seem to think that there were the people that moved out and stuff could have been a little weird. You know what I mean? Could it be the front door open, the light? I don't know what you mean, Joan. I believe it's
no.
emotionally and
No.
mentally stunted young men. Now I hear that they may be neighbors next to her, and moved there was 3. And moved there was 3. I'm positive. Yes. I can see it being a neighbor. Very, very possible. Very possible.
Mhm.
I think that also could be why they've had a really hard time finding a vehicle as well. Remember, they was having a really hard time
Yeah, the
finding vehicles.
flash. Mhm. Well, yeah, and not to mention sorry about that. Not to mention in the beginning, was it the New York Post or somebody was there on the first or second day and snapped a photo of Nancy's driveway that had the 2, like the marks going up, and they're obviously too small for any kind of vehicle. It looks like a I don't know, like wheelchair marks or something. Let me
I'm
see if
not
I can show
familiar with
you.
that.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
So you're not familiar with that? Here,
Not
I
at
might
all.
have it on my computer. Hold on, let me see if I have it. What? I swear. Okay, one second. Let me see if I've got it real quick.
Okay, I wanna
Let's
play this
see.
while that.
Driveway.
And not
Here we go, right here.
necessarily
Driveway
that
marks.
there's an indication.
Right there. You see him? This was right after she was taken. This is before JLR and everybody got there. What does that look like to you? It looks one way, right? Like one way. Like,
Can you send that to me so I can make it bigger and zoom in?
yeah. Hold on. It's one way, so it's like, did she have a wheelchair inside or something? Hold on one second. Well, shit. Here, let me just send it from my computer because I got it right here.
Okay.
I thought I'm gonna send it through email because I've got so many pictures on my phone. Give me one second. Oh my god, it's so slow.
Okay, Sassy.
Right there. I'm not gonna put anything in the subject. I'm just gonna send it.
You're good.
All right. Come on, where are you at? Driveway marks.
Sassy, we played that earlier, baby. Thank you.
Come on. All right, I just sent it.
Okay. Yeah, I want to be able to zoom in to it a little bit.
Well, there was rumors that she had knee surgery, but I could never confirm that. So if she did, she maybe had a walker or a wheelchair maybe in her house. Maybe they wheeled her out and down to the vehicle they had parked somewhere, or
Why is she
if it's someone
bleeding like
close.
that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, now look at this, guys.
Hmm.
Are we talking about this right here? Or are we
Yes, the
talking about
lines.
this?
No, the marks. The marks.
Right
No,
here?
the wheel
These two little
marks. The wheel marks. Yeah. Those were taken right after she was taken.
right there. See, this one's mhm. Right there. But they don't align.
Mhm.
But you can see it go across right here.
Mhm.
You can see the whole thing. But
Yeah.
when this happened, it's so hard to know because there's one right there too.
That looks like a
Hmm.
See, it looks like wheelchair marks, but I don't know, to me.
No, that's a car tire right there. Now this one
You
right
think so?
here, this one right here.
Yeah, the smaller one.
thinner.
I gotta take off my thing. Hold on 1 second.
I mean, it could even be a trash can for all you know what I mean? Like you just
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It could be a trash can, the ones with wheels, and she pulled it down to the end of the drive.
yeah, you just really don't know. Let me see here.
Yeah, it's interesting, right?
Any of those.
It is. That is interesting. I'd never seen that before. I thought a
Yeah, it's
four-wheeler.
too small.
I see. I wouldn't think they were using a four-wheeler at there. In my opinion, it would be too loud. Plus, you're just not going to put an 84-year-old in the back of the four-wheeler.
I was thinking a wheelchair. Or maybe even a,
Contractors have
a,
done
well, a
anything wrong.
walker.
But no, like you're gonna have to be very patient
You're
with
gonna drag.
her walking out, or
Yeah,
you're gonna have to carry her
exactly,
out.
with a walker. A wheelchair would be easy because you could just put her in the wheelchair and wheel her right out to down the road to the vehicle. I don't think they would use anything large to bring attention or anything that would make noise. A wheelchair wouldn't make noise. They could just get her in there, especially if and just roll her out.
Mhm. I text you, Dave.
Or those workmen have done anything wrong, but they are people who would have very possibly come in contact with Nancy. And I think one of the main things that I would like to find out if they would let me in on the case is how ambulatory was she? How traveling was she? She had a car, but she didn't go to church at her local church. She Zoomed it with her, or she followed their online services for a church in New York that Savannah went to. So that leads me to believe that she didn't get out of the house as much. So then that complicates things because she doesn't come into contact with that many people. Did she walk every day? What if she walked past the construction site? There's lots of things like that.
Yeah, she used to walk. The neighbors told me. I think like years ago there was actually.
That's a good point, right? When you're limited in your mobility, right? You're not going to
Mhm.
be able to associate with people as much, right? Like
Mhm.
if you don't get out very often.
Yeah,
Trades used.
exactly. Well,
I agree.
did you see the video with the worker the other day that said she could walk fine?
The worker?
Yeah, he was like a here, I can send it to you. I have it in my YouTube. Hold on. Unlisted. It's him just I took a clip because I thought it was strange. He said that he knew her really well, and then he said, "Yeah, she could walk just fine." And then this was literally 4 days ago. And then he said, "Oh, I've only met her 3 times, but seemed to say she walked fine." Here, I just sent it through text message. He was like he was catching rodents, pack rats. Said he talked to her all the time and all this stuff. Yeah, well,
Either
wheelbarrow would have 1 wheel in the
actually a
it's
group of
not
them
letting
that
me
would all
pull
walk
up.
together, and she was part of
Yeah.
that group. But I think it's been a while. I mean, I think her health has really been, you know, even some of the neighbors told me like they were kind of worried about her sometimes, like they didn't see her coming out of the house as much, that kind of thing.
Right, right. And so then that would lead one to believe that maybe it was somebody who came into the house, you know, or came to her house, or, you know, this kind of thing happens. I mean, you've probably seen this kind of thing.
I don't think she walked fine, and I'll tell you why. Because Savannah and all of them have said that she didn't walk fine. And so
Or you get a door knock and somebody says, "Hey, I'm cutting trees down the
Mhm.
block," and I thought, while I'm here, I can give you a deal and cut some of your trees. Or do you need a gardener or anything like that? She doesn't have to get out necessarily for somebody to door knock her. And so what I would be interested in
He said he
combination
hadn't
with
seen
this
her in
is
a
any
year,
solicitors
I
that came
believe.
by any of the houses in the neighborhoods in the weeks beforehand.
Yeah, and I know most contractors and people working on houses are just doing their jobs and aren't, I mean, it's not like they're bad people normally, obviously. Actually,
Yes,
someone emailed me the other day because I was talking about contractors and
She
said,
needed a
we're
cane.
contractors, me and my husband, and you gave us a bad rap. Most of them are good, but it does make sense. Those are like, I was just thinking back to my neighborhood. Those are really the outsiders that come in. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, they are. And frequently to the person who contacted you about contractors, I'll
That's really the only insiders that do come in your home, right? Is someone who is like a contractor, is like the cable guy, is the plumber, is the roofer, is the drywaller, is the painter.
Yeah, but they'd have to be in there long enough to study her cameras and stuff like that, right? So
Good point.
that's the thing. A painter, I mean, are they going to be in there long enough to study her cameras, like, and actually know where they're at if they're nanny cams? I don't know. The pool guys aren't going to be in there long enough to find out where all the cameras are and know what cameras.
You know, unless she
they are.
becomes friendly
You know what I
with
mean? They
them
have to
and
look
she
at the
offers
serial
them a
number.
cup of lemonade and she sits out and develops a relationship with them as, you know, they're talking. You know, some old people
Yeah.
do that.
Don't see her inviting strange men in the house, though. I don't know. Maybe, but
Well, I mean, you've never invited strange men in the house?
maybe when I was drunk, but not
Okay. Not fun.
but not like that.
Only thing we needed was her Google password. They needed something technical.
To follow her. Well, her Facebook, her Instagram, and then kind of look at her digital footprints, her replies. Did she add new friends within the past month? You know what I mean? Did she connect to certain people or was someone connecting with her. I've actually stalked her Facebook and stuff to see if people were just because, but
I don't think it's the right word. You stalked.
yeah, not stalked, but you know what I mean? Investigated. I've investigated it to see if there was any weird, there is some people, because if you click on like certain things she would post, people would put mad faces or laughing.
Who, Nancy?
When it wasn't when it wasn't a laughing matter, they would do that a lot. So, but
if it's political or something and you don't agree with it, you'll put like a mad face or if you don't like it or you're mad like the situation happened, they'll put a mad face.
She was in the recent days talking about that. Yes. The eye stuff. Yeah.
You only need the moment from the outside to use Nancy's number 1 cam, number 2 Nancy cam, or such like names.
Nancy.
Never rename your cameras, by the way. Yeah, but
oh shit, yeah, because you'll see them. You'll see it on the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, this isn't a hacker at all. Again, if it was, you wouldn't. You would have. The camera outside wouldn't have worked. Again, if there was a jammer or a hacker or anything like that, right? Don't you think? Right.
Yeah, I've done mine as FBI surveillance van. That's so funny, Lori.
Justin, and also sometimes contractors get their helpers from the Home Depot so they can pay less for help. Yeah, I mean, that could have happened. See, I think Nancy would have, for instance, like there was a 30-year-old male who lived with his mom and down the street. I think Nancy would have hired someone like that. She knew it in the neighborhood, like she thought she could trust. We live in the same neighborhood. Of course they're not going to do anything, right?
Or yeah, I know, I see what you're saying. I see exactly what you're saying. Or someone that could have been out of work but knows how to do a trade, so maybe she had them do some work for her, that lives with their parents.
Bingo.
Or maybe had lost their job or
Exactly.
oh, hey, I can give him some work. I can make him some money. Can he come fix my floors or fix the locks on the door? Who knows? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Had it been somebody that stayed inside that house for a long period of time.
Ramit says, you should really change your name, by the way. Peace. So you think this has to do with a game they played as kids that the adults did to make it fun? I don't know what you mean. I thought he was actually asking a legitimate question.
Agree 100%. I am not casting aspersions on contractors, but there are people who come into neighborhoods specifically to case places who masquerade as contractors. Or, and there is no profession that is without its problem child. I mean, the worst spy in the history of the world, I think, came from the FBI internally. So I love the FBI, so I'm certainly not jamming on contractors, but it is possible that somebody at that job site found a reason to go into that house.
Something else yesterday, Steve, in my episode, before I left, I interviewed one of Nancy's neighbors who I hadn't talked to before.
Okay.
And she brought up something.
I just thought of another point. Let's think about this a second. Is a construction worker going to know how to turn off the neighbor's cameras? Are they going to know how to turn off Nancy's cameras inside? Maybe if they set them up, but they're not going to really know how to. turn Nancy's cameras off,
unless
are
they
they?
have the same type of cameras. What if they have
Well,
the
you gotta
same
have a
type of
username and
cameras?
password
So, yeah,
and
they
a
have to
login.
know.
And listen, if you don't like, if it's a new device, which they could use Nancy's cameras to log in, I guess, and turn it off. You ever thought of that? I just thought of that. Nancy has her phone.
Oh yeah,
If
they
it's on
could.
her phone,
Well,
she could turn off the
yeah.
cameras from her phone, like the
Well,
perpetrator
that's
could have said, "Let's turn your cameras
turn
off
the
from
app
your
off.
phone." But you would think they would get something before they turned it off.
Yeah, true, true. Yeah, because if they saw the one on the door, then they're gonna when they get inside finally and say turn the cameras off. They would definitely would have got something, or maybe erase the data, but still, that still wouldn't. What if they made her erase it? It would still be there though. So it had to have been turned off prior. It had to have been turned off prior to them coming, or right when they. It had to have been jammed or
Did they
turned off.
jam
I
it
mean,
or turn
I
it
don't
off?
think they have a jammer. But
I would 99.99% bet there is no jammer.
yeah, because all the other neighbors would have had issues. You would have had every single neighbor in that area telling the FBI, hey, yeah, my cameras went off at this time.
Which,
It wouldn't
to
have been
be
a random neighbor.
but to be fair, they were asking if there was a blackout.
Yeah, but we didn't hear
in the neighborhood.
anybody else say anything. I mean, they've spoken to quite a few neighbors, right?
It only jams so far, and it only jams in the direction you're pointing it at as well.
Well, the direction they were pointing at, the other neighbor's house wasn't it adjacent,
Behind it.
right?
Yeah.
So why did it get the other house that's directly behind her then? And over to the left. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how jammers work, so but then why did they take the camera on the door?
It's so weird. I've never seen anything
Well,
like this. Never seen
yeah.
anything like
You know,
this. It's just odd.
I hate to say this, and I keep saying this, but I feel that this person is like an amateur by the way that they did certain things, but then a professional by hiding their identity, like they are familiar with crime scenes, like they know how to hide their DNA, how to maneuver around without getting caught. Do you see what I'm saying? Does that make
Say that again.
sense? Okay.
Say that again.
I know this is confusing. I feel like this perpetrator is an amateur at doing kidnappings and stuff. But
this guy in the picture, this guy,
yes,
1,000%.
but
This guy is either,
yes,
in my opinion, hired or he owed someone something.
yes, but I feel that he is a professional at maneuvering his way around crime scenes. For instance, he knew how to dress, he knew how to maneuver around it. I mean, with the camera situation, I don't know what was going on there. Turned him off. I don't know. I feel like he knows how to maneuver around a crime scene, right? Like how to not get caught. But I feel the way he went about it was more like an amateur, the way he was carrying his holster with the flowers, with the foliage stuff, stuff like that. Does that make sense? Does that make sense what I'm trying to say?
I think he's a criminal, but I think he is more like a rug dealer.
I feel like he has a background, though, of knowledge of how, like,
He's
what will
street
happen
smart.
after.
Mm.
I mean, he looked like he was his legs were very muscular too. Maybe I don't know.
He's thick in his badonkadonk.
Really interesting, which other people have noticed on Nancy's front door, and a lot of the houses there have it. It's not a screen door, but it's like a security gate. You know how people have those, and so there's a regular door, and then it's like bars, and it has a lock. And I'm told that you have to have a key to lock it from the outside and from the inside.
Right.
And this neighbor had one too, and her theory was, the guy who went to the front door, she believes there was someone else already inside the house, and that guy was coming to the front door to help that other person get Nancy out, because she just says most people there lock their security door, and there would be no way to get in. That would be very hard to break through the security gate. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I've gotten through a bunch of them when I was on SWAT. You have to have special tools, crowbars, things like that, and they're very noisy. Or we had some hydraulic things that moved them out of the way, so they are substantial. But and that's possible. I'm not saying that didn't happen, but my theory on this would be that if a person can get into the house without being seen by a Ring camera, then they can get out of the house by being seen by a Ring camera. And it would tend to be kind of a goofy move when the guy says, I'm in, and the camera's in front and I'm in without getting seen. Why would you then send somebody to the front door?
Right. And she also may not have locked the security gate. I mean, especially since it takes a key on the inside, maybe she just had it closed. Although when she went home from having dinner at her daughter's, when she was last seen, the garage, it sounds like she would go in and out through the garage, because they were able to tell that the garage opened, which makes me think maybe she did have the security gate locked if she didn't even really use the front door very much.
Well, I think that if I remember correctly, her garage is on the side of her house, and so I think it would be longer to go in through go in around the house and through the front door in the heat, usually in Arizona,
right,
than it would be to go through the garage and come in that way. You'd be in the house much faster. So that may be it. The other thing is that people get complacent, and I'm not saying this as a criticism, but because I have to fight.
Tell me this. Put a 1 in the chat if when you go home or when you get home, do you use the same door every time, almost every time? We'll say
yes, I do.
7 or 8
I have
times.
I don't ever use my.
Oh, yeah, you do. Put a 1 in the chat if you normally.
I
or
use
just
the
a yes.
same one.
Same. We all use the same one.
I don't use my front door either. Yep. I used to use my garage, but I turned it into a room, so now I just use the side door. I have never used my front door, and I have a security screen door or security door on my front door. So I don't use that. So it looks like everybody else is the same. Do you use the same door too?
Every time.
Yeah. So we're creatures of habit. So what we prefer, we usually just go. You know what I mean?
And it's usually, just like Kelly K just said, I never go in the front door. It is always locked. Yeah. Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
She most likely went through her garage or the side door.
Well, I mean, the garage door had to have been used because we know that there is a data point there. That door was opened for 2 minutes.
Yep. And I still say that's not enough time for her to get in. I just don't see it. But maybe.
I mean, she had to get in. What other door? I mean, she was there for
in there.
nearly 4 hours. So, I mean, to me, it had to be enough time. A lot of people think, well, it's 2 minutes.
Well,
I think it was enough time But what? Go ahead. I want to hear what you say.
What? Sorry. What if, and I'm not saying this happened, this is just me speculating, right? What if the garage door was open, but he, or
It's
what
a
if he
he.
opened the garage door for her and she ended up, for instance, when whoever dropped her off, right?
Tomaso
It was either
dropped her off.
Tommaso or Annie. It kept changing
Tomaso.
so much. That's why I was like, well, maybe she ended up going through the front door. Maybe he opened it and closed it, right? But she ended up going through. There's a door right there on the side too, right?
But why would
I just don't see her.
take extra steps?
I don't know. I just don't see her getting out of the vehicle that quickly, especially if she uses a cane and getting in the house. It takes 11 seconds for it to open, 11 seconds for it to close, right? When you get into the driveway, you're going to have to wait for the door to open, right? Unless you open it right when you're coming in the driveway, before you even pull in the driveway, some people open it. Then, I mean, maybe they opened it before they even pulled in the driveway and someone snuck in and was in the house the entire time. Or maybe they snuck in when she was leaving with the Uber, right? Maybe they were
2
waiting
minutes
around
is
the
a
corner and then.
It doesn't sound like it, but I think it's a lot of time.
You do? It takes me, I don't know, it takes me more time than 2 minutes. I mean, she must have been on a mission to get inside the house. And for him not to help her inside, right? Allegedly, if she was drinking, she's got to get her cane out of the, I don't know.
You know, maybe she was pissed off and she wanted to get out of the car.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe it was an argument. Let me out, mother chicken. I'm done. I'm not saying that happened,
But still, okay, say they opened the garage door before they even pulled in the driveway. Because, you know, sometimes the remotes will work before you even pull in the driveway, right? You're almost to
if
the
it's on her
house.
phone, it'll work anywhere in the world.
Yeah. Oh. Well, that's interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah, I
You
could
don't
be
have
in
to be
China and
close to
open my
it?
garage door. Hell no.
Damn. Okay, so what if somebody opened it? Oh man.
She had
Somebody
to be in that
opened it.
house. Because a
Well,
lot of people's like, well, maybe she didn't make it home. She had to be in that house. Her blood is there, her heart monitor, her phones, her hearing
no,
aids.
I agree with that. But what if somebody opened it when she was gone from the house and somebody got in and then they closed it, like used her phone to use the app?
Nope. Can't be the phone or the app. If someone went there beforehand, they had to use a keypad because there's not a log that way.
Oh yeah, that's
Like
right.
the
There's
combination,
okay.
or there had to be a clicker, one or the other, if they got in beforehand through the garage.
Because it would
But
be logged on the phone. Okay, I see what you're saying. All right. They were in there for a while, and to know the cameras and all that just tells me that either they were there prior with her or they got in prior, like while she was gone. But then why would the other one, well, unless he was waiting for the other person to unlock the door for him?
Yeah. I think.
But then they would make sure
I
she
think
was
the
asleep.
most likely way for them is to get in through the door or a window, the slider door or the window.
Mhm.
You know, there's mixed reports. There's no forced entry, and then there's some reports. I think Banfield is reporting that allegedly there was forced entry. So
Yeah, but
this
then she
myself.
also, yeah, I know.
good.
I don't really want to say it, but
Okay.
the whole thing with Tommaso, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. It's very confusing because there's a lot of weird things around it. There's no other way to look at it. This is the thing. The sheriff, he says they're clear, but he doesn't say how they're clear. If they're clear, they're clear. Say,
Exactly.
listen, we have him leaving the house, going to his home, and spending the rest of the night at his home. There's nothing to indicate. Like, if you can say that he's clear publicly, just say how he was cleared. It's not going to hurt the investigation.
Yeah, that makes no sense. I don't know how they're cleared. Like, who says that?
I agree, Brenda. I mean,
That's just
I
the
would walk
stupidest
my
thing.
mother-in-law in by absolutely 1,000%. I would walk her in. Check. I mean, I even, when I would drop my grandmother off, I would walk her in. I would look under the beds. Even I would look in the closets just to make her feel more comfortable. Always.
Yep. Especially if she had drinks.
Who's gonna bother me? Who's gonna come into this neighborhood and cause me problems? So I believe that those kind of gates that I'm familiar with, they all had a normal doorknob on the inside and the outside, so you can get in and out if it wasn't locked with no problem. She may have not kept it locked all the time.
All right, guys, I want to introduce you to the sponsor of today's episode, Surfshark. I will certainly. VPN, that is surfshark.com/Enton. If it was locked, though, then why do you think, do you think that neighbor's theory could be right? Because why else would the guy become, you'd be able to see
we see Kathleen, thank you,
security door. Like, why would he be coming to the front?
I'd have to speculate, but first of all, if it's unlocked by a key from the inside and the outside, and you don't have a key to the outside, you don't have a key to the inside. So how's his friend going to unlock it? That's one thing I would think of. That's
a good point. Yeah.
And so the other thing is, I remember again from SWAT.
That is a good point, but I'm not very familiar with these doors. Can you lock it from the inside, but not lock it from the outside? You could do it that, right?
Yes. Okay, so mine, yes, you have to use a key, right, to lock it from the inside. That's how mine works. It's a key. It's not just a regular lock on my door, like my security door. You have to use an actual key to lock it. I don't know how anybody else's work, but okay, Nancy said her door too. You got to lock it from, on the inside. Yeah. If it's a security door, you can lock. Anastasia said you can lock it both inside and outside with a key. Hers. Okay. Yeah, mine's just one. Nancy said hers is one. Anastasia said 2 for hers. Who's going to take the time, though, and mess with that door?
I was muted. Sorry. I want to show you something. I'm not sure I'm convinced with what they're saying right now. Look at this. Do you see this down here? This is a deadbolt. This is a doorknob. Right? So if this is a deadbolt, you can lock it from the inside.
Yes. Hers is different from mine, though. I've got like a metal black one.
You see? Deadbolt. I'm not convinced with what they're saying.
See, what has he got his hand on there? It wasn't the doorknob. He had his hand on the camera. Did you see that?
Yeah, but why is he not Why
Watch
is
the
he not
light.
trying to get through the door if he's waiting for
His
someone?
bite light comes on there too. Yeah, what does he got to see? His hand's not on the doorknob. So what the hell has he got his hand on right there? Is he touching the camera?
So if there's a
That's my,
deadbolt there, they can
man,
just
that
lock it from
person's
the
fast.
inside. Watch the left hand.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? Watch the left hand. What do you
Yeah,
think
but
he's
was it
doing,
even
Brand?
on the doorknob? It wasn't even on it.
Oh
Got a
no,
blizzard. Oh my
Lisa.
gosh. I'm so sorry. Oh. Look.
He's doing
He's not even
something.
touching the doorknob there.
Hmm.
He's not touching the doorknob. Did
I
you
feel like
notice
he
his
hit it.
bite light comes on here too when he bends down? And then you can see those little lights in the background. Mm-hmm. He knows how to move that bite light too really well in his mouth.
Left hand was turning the doorknob?
Well, no, it's not on the doorknob. Watch, it's on something
No,
else. He's trying to
like
turn
it's like
something
his
else.
fingers. Yeah.
No.
Let me make this as big as I can make it. Watch this. See, he almost touches it like with the back of his fingers.
I don't understand. Yeah.
Watch him right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the whole lock thingy. About I think there is some you can lock both ways, but I don't think this is one of them. Just my opinion on that.
But first of all, if it's unlocked by a key from the inside and the outside, and you don't have a key to the outside, you don't have a key to the inside. So how's his friend going to unlock it? That's one thing I would think of.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And so the other thing is, I remember again from SWAT, and it's ironic how many of these things actually transfer across, because we had to get into homes at 3 a.m. at night without arousing suspicion, at least get until the point where we breached a door. And one of the things we would do is, if the bedroom was near the front door, we'd go in the back. If the bedroom was in the back, which is usual, then we'd go in the front door. So it could be that they were trying to get into a door that was farthest from where she would be sleeping. And that would indicate a lot of casing and knowledge of the inside of the home. And, you know, the only other people who can read a home very well are contractors, because they can look at the pipes coming out your roof and tell where the bathrooms are. And the bathrooms are usually right near bedrooms. So you can get an idea of where the bedrooms are.
Also, we knew that there was this January 11th date that they were asking neighbors for video from January 11th, which would have been like a couple weekends before Nancy went missing.
Yeah.
Now neighbors are telling me that when the FBI is showing back up, they're also asking for video from January 24th, which would have been the Saturday before Nancy went missing, 8 days before on a Saturday. And one neighbor was telling me that they actually went through her cameras with her, like an agent did, to help
Good.
and was helping her and kind of, but like they were that, you know, focused on that date. Like they wanted to look through it with her, and hers just showed wildlife. And you know, nothing, but you know, they were insistent on that date, January 24th now. What do you think it means? And also, does it mean anything that both of these dates that they've been interested in are on weekends?
It does, and what that might tell me is that the person who was casing the place had a job during the week and could only get away from work to case
I
the
have
place,
it.
and be able to get enough sleep to get back to work in the morning on weekends. So it could be somebody you're looking for, somebody who has a Monday through Friday job. That's just a theory, but you know, enough theories come together, and you have a working fact, and so that, you know, that would be one thing. But obviously, the FBI has some kind of lead tip. I wouldn't think it would be a tip. You wouldn't change your interviews unless the tip was really solid, but they have some kind of lead, some kind of evidence, maybe some film that leads them to believe that the home was cased on those days, or other homes were cased on those days. And this,
Okay, let me show you this right here. This is the front door. The camera was right here, right above where this deadbolt is. You can see the deadbolt, right? Let me find that.
But he had his hand right next to that. It's weird.
Let me show you
So what was he
this.
doing with his hand? I mean, because he had his hand even with the door.
I'll do a side by side.
Okay. Was he ringing the doorbell? Or flagging somebody inside? Or unless the
No,
doorbell
he's-
sits lower, maybe
He's
that's
trying to mess with this doorbell at this time.
yeah. Take it off, yeah. Ringing the bell. Wake up. God, Liza, I'm sorry to hear that.
What's that?
Oh, she said I wasn't stuck in the vehicle. Thank God.
Okay, take a look at this. Damn, maybe.
Nice.
All right. So. Let me zoom into this a little bit. So watch this.
I'm a streamer. I would let us put more than one image up.
What is that white thing right there?
Let me look. I have that
I just
picture
now noticed
in
that.
mine.
Oh, that's the
Oh,
card.
that's the card.
Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, that's the card for the.
I'm gonna make it bigger for you, but let's see if I can lighten this up a little bit and make it bigger.
So we got a picture of the camera hanging there too, right? So the doorbell camera is like rectangular, hangs down. So yeah, he was trying to twist it off the bracket, it looks like.
Okay, so watch this. Let me take.
Perfect.
All right. So if you look at the door, right? It's a solid door. It is a solid door. It's got bars and stuff. But you can see this doorknob where there's a key. You can do a key there. And then there's a deadbolt, and that's another key. down here is the doorknob, and then that's it'll pop back up in a second. Right there, so you can see the deadbolt and the doorknob. Right here is where the camera went, right? And then there's that looks like a chime, like an older one. You know, you probably didn't even use this one anymore because you had this. But he's definitely trying to fiddle with this. Gotta be. So I don't, people's like, you can lock it, like you would have to have a key from the inside. I don't think this is one. I think it's just got a deadbolt in the inside and a regular lock on the inside, in my opinion. If you zoom in, there's a leaf on the top of the camera mount. Which one?
Is
Is what?
Is that door? It's wood, right? And it's got
the door. The
it's like
non-screen door, the storm door, is metal.
Yeah.
But you
metal.
don't really. You can't really see the other door, what it is.
Yeah.
If it's
you
metal
can't.
or if it's wood or normal door.
In
But
mine,
you
it
can
looks
see
like
around
she
it.
had. Yeah, you can see around it. It looks like she had curtains in that little window too, but it's hard to make out.
No, she doesn't have curtains here. These
And
are
the one I've got at the top of that picture, it looks like there's a little curtain, but it looks like they were
there's
pulled to
a
the
lamp
side.
here. There's a lamp here.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a table here or
Yeah,
something
the
like that.
one I got. The one I got, you can see an Amazon package in the reflection. Here, I'll send it to you. And it looks like there was curtains or something in the little windows.
The brackets are really, really hard to take off, Ginger, because they're made to stick on there without, because you recharge the camera. So they're really meant to stay once they're on there.
Mm-hmm.
Did anyone notice if any person of question had a pinky ring when seen interviewed? Yes, Lisa. There is one person that had a pinky ring on, but in my opinion, I think they really need to be looking for tattoos. Tattoo.
We spotted that in the beginning.
Oh yes, that was quite something.
I remember that.
Why are we not talking about the card, that adult abuse card? Because that was the day after Nancy went missing, or wasn't it? When was the adult card? Was it?
It was there when JLR got there, so it was. I want to say it was like
JLR didn't get there until a few days after.
Yeah, there like 7 days after. Yeah, so I think it was there on the second day. I could be wrong though. I'm pretty sure they said 2 days. Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's the other thing.
He's got a typewriter.
You have to think
He's
about.
got some, 2 words.
Nancy may
right
not
there.
have been, depending on what this crime turns out to be, she may not have been the primary victim. She could have been Plan B. So it could be that people were going to different houses, and I would assume that the FBI is looking at residents who are similar to Nancy, single elderly woman living at home.
Yeah, and there's a lot of older people around there. Is it a bad sign though that they keep visiting the same neighbors? The FBI. I mean, should that lead us to believe that they're
What's that?
Thank you, Kelly. Yeah, that's what were you calling it, Justin? Like the little old, the little white thing. That was like the old
Bracket?
doorbell or chime.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like a chime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Kelly. I appreciate you. Yeah, that's a chime. Mm-hmm.
She had the battery operated ring cam, yes, which is supposed to be easy for criminals to pop out. He knows what he's doing. I think he had a job from the ringleader. I agree. If he was trying to take the cam off, then we would have seen vibrations. Well, Lucko, that's very. We don't have all the footage though. And when this person was there in the beginning, when they didn't have their backpack, they messed with the Ring doorbell camera because it's at a different angle now versus what it was the first time they were there, which it's at a totally different angle.
not making much progress?
I don't think so. I mean, it doesn't sound like wildly, doesn't sound like progress so strong it's hard to keep track of. Hopefully they're making some progress, and that's just going to be your litmus test for if we're doing anything right. You have to make some progress somewhere. But, I liken it to doing a jigsaw puzzle. And you say, oh, I've got a piece here, that shows the corner of a building. So now I'm looking for other pieces with a corner of the building. And so you give up for a while and you put that piece down and you go, you know what, I'm going to look for corners of the building again. And so you try to start looking at other pieces of evidence. The other thing you do is you change your investigative team sometimes, investigative styles, and other people have different investigative philosophies. I will investigate different than even my closest FBI friend. They have a different way of doing it. And so some people may come in and just do it differently.
Yeah, I guess just a fresh set of eyes kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I had reported a couple weeks ago that they were using polygraphs to clear people in the case. And the sheriff was quick to come out and say, oh, that's not true. People just saw polygraphs at our building because there was they were doing like new hires.
I had a woman that I was speaking to in the beginning within the first week. And I told you guys that there was that the family had done a polygraph within the first week. Members of the family. And of course, Sheriff Nano said no, just like they told Brian. No. Well, they took a polygraph. They took a polygraph. I want to see what he says here, though.
That day, but that actually wasn't my report. Like that wasn't my source that it was even coming from the sheriff's office. It was actually the FBI doing the polygraphs. And it's interesting. I noticed Megyn Kelly reported yesterday that that Nancy's family members were specifically cleared because they all passed polygraphs. I didn't have that part of the reporting. I just knew that they were clearing people in general with polygraphs.
They didn't. My person didn't say anything about anybody being cleared or anything. They were just doing polygraphs. Now, someone on Megan's channel today, they did say that Annie's family was cleared with polygraphs. Again, that is just reporting. However, Sheriff Doofy did say that he did say that the family was cleared. I just want to put that out there. Whether you think that or not, that's.
But she's reporting that it's actually the family members. Did you ever do polygraphs? Like was that something that was part of your investigations in the FBI?
This is very interesting.
Oh yeah, and the polygraph itself is usually only the actual test itself is, I would say, less than half of its value. It is the realization of the person who you want to polygraph that we will likely be able to tell if they're lying or not. And so that causes them at that point, especially if you come up to a family member and you used to broach it like this, you'd say, listen, my job is to catch the person who has your mother or may have harmed your mother. And the problem is, statistically, it's usually a family member. So help me eliminate you so I can get to the real work. Help me get through this as fast as possible, because it's just slowing down finding the real person who did it. Then you get 3 polygraphs in there, and you talk to them before and after the polygraph. And those interviews before and after are as important or.
But Daff, this is the thing. And I'm not saying this happened, but she did get the vehicle back a couple days ago. The sheriff didn't say, but they called the POI. What's the POI?
Yep.
I can't think of what the POI is. I always want to say point of interest, but it's the someone will help me in chat. They called the POI, and the POI, what's the POI? Help me in chat, guys. They didn't
Person
even
of
know.
interest.
No,
Point of interest.
no, not person of interest. The public
Hawaiian
information
dish made
officer.
from taro
I
root.
got it. Public information officer. Yes, Kelly Kate. Public information officer.
There you go. There you go.
They didn't even know that Tommaso and Annie got their vehicle back.
Yep. Yes, he didn't. Yeah. Not a simple,
So
quick
my
text or
question,
phone call. Yeah.
my question is, did they is this even really their vehicle? I know that I don't like conspiracy theories or anything, but is this just a car that looks similar to theirs?
Well,
So they can take the pressure off and
couple
say, here's the damn car?
a couple of people looked it up and they said it looks like an older version, like a 2007, 2009. But the one they drove off in the beginning looked really new.
How the hell does the public information officer not know that they got their damn car back when they are the ones that give out the information? I'm asking a question.
Exactly. hmm There's a picture of it right there if you want to pull it up. Yeah. Yeah.
That looks more narrow.
So, it looks like a Fiat kind of, but there is a cleaner picture of it too. Hold on. Let's see. Where did it go? Right there. I got a cleaner picture here too, if you want to, which is a different side view of it. Here, pull this one up. This is a different side view. I just sent you.
Oh, you sent it to me. Okay.
I just texted it to you. And that's the opposite side. It does look like an older version.
307. Oh yeah, I got it. Okay.
Okay. Here, you know what? Let's just do this.
I got it.
Okay. Oh no, I was trying to see something real quick. Even the headlights look foggy, like not of a new vehicle, right? The one they drove in the first day when they were hiding their faces looked a lot newer. Yeah.
I guess it's the same vehicle, but you know, just because they got it back doesn't. I don't know. It's very fucking.
Here, you know what?
They rented or
Put it
borrowed.
in ChatGPT. What
It's an older car, and this is the thing. If it's before 2015, it's not going to have the computer that they
Hold on.
they need.
It says it's a Honda CRV.
Yes.
How to tell the front grille, and it says the headlight shape rounded with slight taper is specific to 2007 to 2011.
It's a 2009.
Well, there you go, in between those dates. So what year is the one they drove off in that one day? Does anybody have a clear picture of
I think they're engaged as much as possible, Janice. I mean, I don't know. Let's see here.
It's hard to get a.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's the same car. It's the same car because here's the one from before. The same headlights.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it was supposedly in a
Repair too, yeah.
yeah, like forensics from allegedly they took the whole damn thing apart, like,
Mm-hmm.
which is weird, if you ask me.
I had it for that long.
Never seen.
More important than the polygraph itself.
What do you mean by that? Like the interview, why were the interviews after more important?
A person who believes that they might not pass a polygraph is going to behave differently than somebody who has nothing to do with
Not
it.
always.
Person who has nothing.
That is not always. That is not always. Nope. Nope. Chris Watts said he would take one. I mean, some people will just say, yeah, because they don't want to feel pressure of the no. So they will just go ahead and take the polygraph and be damned.
Mhm.
It is. But a lot of people he is right. He's not wrong. But some people will absolutely just say, well, absolutely. It's a bluff.
Nothing to do with a crime, might be slightly, nervous about taking a polygraph, but you set them at ease and you do all this, A person who is afraid of being caught is going to show all sorts of psychological and even physical tells. You might see them sweating. You
true.
might see them, their knees bouncing or something like this. And then in the pre-interview, you're going to go over all the questions you're going to ask. And I don't want to give away techniques or something, but you can go in and say, is there anything about this that makes you nervous? Because I see you there's some stress here. How can I make you feel better? What question bothers you? So maybe you and I can change the question so that you're not worried about it. And you can delve pretty quickly into why they're nervous. And frequently that will tell you things that are important. And you can use the opportunity to say, now listen, if I was testing the person here who was afraid they might get caught on this, I would want them to know that they have options, that they could make deals, they can do this. This isn't, polygraph or die. This is, let's get through this. And those are as valuable sometimes. In fact, most of the time in a criminal case, I think those are more valuable than the actual results, because the actual results are not admissible in court. The interview before and after are.
If
That's a good
has
point.
anyone ever failed?
That's a very good point. The test isn't you can't use it in court, but the interview before, what they say before they take the polygraph and after they take the polygraph are.
Mm-hmm.
Fail the polygraph, and then do they ever not tell them because they don't want them to know? Like, then you just know, oh, maybe this person is a suspect, but you don't actually tell them that they failed?
Yeah, absolutely true. I mean, absolutely true. I'm not lying.
Yeah.
The polygraph is your tool, not theirs. And if the polygraph will work for you in a way that is helpful, that's what it's there for. It is not a defense tool. It is not a defense attorney tool, a prosecutor. It's an investigative tool. And so you will use the results of the polygraph or protect the results of the polygraph as best you can, because if they come up deceptive, it never says you're lying, but if they come up deceptive, then you may or may not want them to know that.
Do they ask normally, well, how did I do, or what happened? I mean, I would be curious.
They always ask. They always ask. It's kind of like doing an MRI and you say, well, did you find anything? Oh, right. We got to read it. I'm not the guy who reads it, this kind of stuff. And so that's, the correct answer. Correct answer and a true answer. You have to read it. You have to analyze it. It doesn't just have these things where if you cross a line and it turns red and you're lying. That's cartoons. But if you, you do have to read it. I think though, during the polygraph, you got an idea.
Okay. So yeah, the fact that there's now this reporting that the family passed polygraphs, that's for you a pretty good sign. I mean, that is that reason. I mean, the sheriff came out and said the family's cleared officially. Yeah. Period. That would probably weigh. I'm sure that weighed into that decision.
If the sheriff says it, I'm not confident just because he said it.
Me either.
I would have to have some kind of validation, because the sheriff have said things that I don't believe to be accurate. So that doesn't.
Well, I am so glad he said that. I really am. I'm so glad he just said that. Thank you, sir.
Help me. The sheriff also would know that you never say somebody passed or failed a polygraph. It is not a pass fail. It is a continuum between deception and non-deception, essentially, and it can go all over the place during the time. And so what you say is it's either testing, and the word may not even be deceptive, but it's in the category. They're either deceptive or inconclusive, something like that. And if somebody says if somebody tests as inconclusive, you can't say that they failed it. Mm-hmm. You can't say that we think now that they're a suspect. But one thing I wouldn't believe for sure is that they are cleared.
Mm. How does it work?
I don't know what their tests were.
How does it work? I mean, they obviously come in when you're the agent. Is it an FBI agent asking the questions?
It's 3 tests, no more than 5 tests of the same questions.
But it's a trained polygrapher, and I was not a trained polygrapher. I was trained to work with the polygraphers, and they set it up. They read it. They have much more knowledge than the average investigation, and they are very good interrogators. That is
so
part of their training. You
wouldn't ask the questions as the agent. Would you just sit there, or
I wouldn't be in the room.
No.
So you leave the. Okay.
I would talk to the agent who was giving the polygraph, and he and I or she and I would meet and probably discuss these things for an hour. Go through the questions and say, this is what I want. What are you aiming at here? What are you suspecting? And we would we would give that person, him or her, an idea of what we were looking for as a result of this investigation, what our main questions were, what our secondary, and let him go from there. It's kind of like, I was an FBI pilot for a while. Not all agents are pilots, and you don't want agents who are not pilots in the cockpit because they know more about that part of it. And the same way with polygraphers. I wasn't a trained polygrapher, so I shouldn't get involved with that. But with the process, or I'm sorry, with the actual administration of it. But the agents are involved heavily with the process.
And do they just call you after and say, okay, we just wrapped up, and they, were honest or weren't honest?
They will come out sometimes mid post interview to get a cup of coffee or something and say, let's talk, because I think, this person's, not all where you would like them to be.
Interesting.
And so it's, it's very
interesting.
So subjective. It is not an objective test. And again, it is only an investigative tool. But it can be an investigative tool that is useful in eliciting truth from somebody, even after the test.
With any of the cases you worked, did anyone take the test and seem truthful, but later end up being a suspect, being someone responsible?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. I had somebody who, because I believe
they're only technically, I think, about 65-70% right.
Believe they were a psychopath. They didn't have the same physical responses to stress, lying, or even harm to other people. They just didn't stress them out that much. It didn't, it didn't, like a guitar string, it didn't vibrate with them.
Yeah, they don't feel the same. They don't. I mean, they do not feel the same.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? It's crazy. They're not admissible in court. No.
Yeah, and the question I had before with did anybody in the family have a heart condition? Because it does run in the family, right? Heart conditions do. So does anybody have a heart condition? They couldn't take the test? I don't know. Makes
I
me
don't
think
know,
of
but
Jamie.
I'm glad he said that
But,
about Sheriff Nanos, because he said if Sheriff Nanos was
Mhm.
saying it, then that wasn't good enough for him. And if the FBI says it, I believe it. If the FBI says it, I will believe it. But
Oh, yeah.
if it's Nanos, no bueno. No bueno.
No, I agree, because he backtracks too. Like, he'll probably come out and say, I never said that. I know
Well-
people are asking a question.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I know sorry, there's a slight delay at the end. I don't know why. I know that people are asking a question about the garage door. So I know it was said that Tommaso had cleared it before, and then they got it on the timer when she went in for the 2 minutes. So that's both, because like when they gave their statement or whatever from the night before, and then they got it on when she opened it on her phone.
Well, we don't know. Like the night before, we know that there is a digital log
footprint.
Yeah, like a
Yeah.
digital footprint of that 2 minutes. But the next day, when Tommaso and the family shows up, we don't know if they open the garage door or the front door. Oh, look, let me show this, and then I'm gonna go. Let me just show this. I
Okay.
I played this morning. Let me find it.
Okay.
I posted this morning. This is the dispatch. Oh no, this is the wrong dispatch. This is the dispatch of they thought someone was breaking in the other day. To me,
Yeah, but-
this is weird.
Yeah, but I don't know who it is though, right? There's other people with the last name Guthrie, and it does sound like it says Annie.
No, it is that house. It is. It's them. They did call. Yes.
So
The
that
man.
was the night that they got their car back.
Hmm?
That was the night they got their car back.
Here we go.
In Sam 11, that's returning to a Honda Accord, 1999, Arley and Heli Caprice. It looks like the 20s out of Nogales. It could be a Honda Accord.
It wasn't the same night.
494.
594.
We're on the phone with the comp. She's saying that through the cameras, the suspects went in through the back. The cameras were working. As soon as they got inside, the cameras stopped working, unknown if they are still inside. Comp does want us to check the interior if we are able to.
The cameras, again, how does that happen? The cameras weren't working, and then they are working. Again, Daphne.
Yeah, and I find it odd. That's the same day that they got their vehicle back, too.
This was, what day was it? I got it on
The
here.
15th. This was 2 days ago. Yeah, when they got their vehicle back, too. What? So why would somebody try to... So was it a suspect with a Honda Accord?
I don't know if even the Honda was... Isn't that the day Tommaso told people to get off the proper, or he was yelling at someone?
Yes. Yep. He came out. Yep. I got that clip on mine. Yep.
And again, that's what I don't get. I find it very interesting that this part.
494.
594.
We're on the phone with the comp. She's saying that through the cameras, the suspects went in through the back. The cameras were working. As soon as they got inside, the cameras stopped working, unknown if they are still inside.
That's just very weird to me. That all these
It
cameras
is weird to me.
are recording at certain times and not at certain times.
And why are they by their house for? Right? Why did they get the text messages to see if the ransom money was deposited as well, which I thought was weird. So is somebody is it somebody they know?
I don't know.
This is crazy.
It's nuts.
They seem to be in the midst of everything for some reason.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true.
It's weird.
It is weird.
When did they see the video of someone going through the back? I don't know. I don't know.
They just got new cameras put on their house.
That's right. They just got new cameras.
New. Like literally within the past month. Got cameras put on the same time Nancy's got put on her house. They got new cameras put on. So somebody hacked their brand new cameras from Spectrum or Comcast or whatever it's called.
I don't know. It's weird.
That's quite a phenomenon. Maybe it's somebody that works for Comcast.
I know that the sheriff says that the family is cleared, but I agree with this former FBI officer. I can't, knowing that this sheriff, everything we went through this evening about this sheriff and what we've experienced in the last 45 days.
I don't believe him.
I just can't buy it. I can't buy.
Nope, I
Again,
can't
I don't.
stand behind him.
I'm not saying that anyone is a suspect, but I don't see how anyone is cleared yet.
Yeah, same. I don't stand by that sheriff whatsoever, and I'm not afraid to say so. I don't trust him. I feel like he pushes stuff under the rug. He lets his ego get in the way. And I feel like he's botched this entire investigation and most likely botched a bunch of other ones that we don't know about.
Yeah, I agree. All right, my dear. Thank you, Daff. Thank you, mods. Thank you, chat from both chats. Really, really do appreciate you guys. We've been here nearly
Yes.
4 hours. My back hurts.
Yeah, I know. I got to use the restroom. Yes, thank you everyone for being here with us and hanging out. Thank you, Justin, for having me on today. I always enjoy myself when I'm here with you. We have a great time. Yeah, I love Justin. He's awesome.
Kelly, I'm sorry I didn't see that earlier. What was the thing directly across from the doorknob? That was the doorbell. That was an old chime clicker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She had asked too if it was if it still makes noise or anything, and I said, well, it could unless it's been disconnected. So we just don't know.
Yeah.
If they disconnected it or not.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Would consider sharing this live out. Also, a way that you can help these channels, because YouTube has screwed the algorithm recently for us creators. If you would be so kind and consider hyping, you get 2 hype or 3 hypes a week. It's absolutely free. If you don't use them, then they just go to waste as well. And also, after this video, this live stream, if you would type something in the comment section, whether it's justice for Nancy, hey Daphne, hey Justin, ask a question about the case, anything, a smiley face, would really help more than you know right now. So
Yeah, absolutely. And if your questions didn't get answered, post them after the live, and we both will, we always check and we'll answer.
Yes.
So we
we'll
love
heart
hearing
'em.
your questions.
And we will heart them. You gave all 4 thumbs up. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, YouTube has got an issue with AI lately, and it's bogging down the algorithm really bad. It sucks. I don't know what's going on the past month.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
All right, guys. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you again, Daff.
Thank you so much, and good night, Justin. Thank you.